fragrance channel. About to take you guys on a little tour through my fragrance collection here. Got quite a handful. I think I've got like around 110, 115, something like that overall. So been collecting for a little bit now. Not too long. I got a handful of these fragrances originally just so I can do videos, so I can do reviews and stuff like that. So I'm going to kind of set the camera up here in a second, or maybe I'll just turn it around and kind of take you guys through overall what I have. So, by the way, I'm working on getting a microphone so I can do these videos a lot better for you guys. So that way we can have an overall better experience as I do live streams and stuff. But if anybody sees anything you'd like me to talk about, if anybody sees any fragrances that some of your favorites, I'm about to flip the camera around and take you generally through my collection and show you guys kind of what I got. This is not the best layout that I could possibly do for my videos, so I'm kind of working on getting some new shelving because right now all we have is what I've got here in my closet. But yeah, if you'd like to see what I've got going on, let's turn the camera around and take you through it. Started working on this about a year ago, kind of getting everything that I have here together. And over here, I've even started getting overflow here in our closet. But this is where I'm starting to put some of my Middle Eastern fragrances that I'm getting in, other than the Zerjoffs. But as you can see, Zerjoff so far has been one of my favorite fragrance houses. I've even got a handful more down here at the bottom. Hawas is definitely another one of my absolute favorite fragrance houses. So for me, probably to start with, my absolute favorite fragrances, they're basically tied for me, is Reflections Man. I always call it Reflections, but it has no S. Reflection Man by Amouage, and then Naxos. Naxos by Zerjoff is basically my number one favorite fragrance in the world. If I had to go between Naxos and Reflections and say what's my next favorite, that would be this bad boy right here. 40 Knots by Zerjoff is one of the most unique aquatic fragrances I've ever smelled. You've got a lot of blue fragrances out there. So I've got down at the bottom, I got a big bottle of Percival by Parfums de Marly. That's kind of, to me, an aquatic blue fragrance. Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana, and then Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. Those are considered, obviously, like classic blue fragrances. But something about 40 Knots by Zerjoff is just special. It's just different. It has like a different type of take on an aquatic note. It's amazing. Hard to beat. Recently, talking about more like green aquatic fragrances, I've tried to do a review for Aether by French Avenue because people have been comparing this to Greenly by Parfums de Marly. It's supposed to be basically a clone or a dupe. And to be completely honest with you, neither one of these are necessarily my favorites. I'm not a huge green fragrance person. I like woodsy fragrances, but as far as green fragrances go, they're not really my thing. My wife doesn't like these either necessarily, but for what it's worth, even though they're not my thing, they were made well. If you're looking for a good clone or dupe of Parfums de Marly's Greenly, I guess I would say Aether is probably a pretty good choice. Hard to beat, hard to complain. There's a handful of other clones out there, but for what it's worth, most French Avenue fragrances perform pretty well. For the price, this is like $380, $420, depending on where you get it from. Obviously, this is like $30. So I can't complain about this. I like this a lot, but I just don't ever wear it. It's not really my style. And the performance on these is just not the best. The performance on any of these green fragrances are not necessarily what you would hope for compared to, you've got Leighton, Old John, Carlisle by Parfums de Marly. They're just a little bit better, which ironically is cool because I've got all the Hawases over here except for the Hawas Elixir. That's on the way. I just got in yesterday and I did a live stream on TikTok, but I didn't do it here on YouTube just yet. I just got in Hawas Fire and Hawas Black and Hawas Ice. I know that Hawas Ice and Hawas Black are not necessarily new fragrances, but just got them in, just tried them for the very first time. I have to say, I like, in the order overall, I personally, originally really enjoyed the Hawas, the classic traditional Hawas, but when I got Hawas Black, immediately fell in love. If you like Eros Energy, which is like a variation of that Creative Ventus DNA, if you like that in any way, shape, or form, then Hawas Black, you absolutely cannot go wrong with that because it has that kind of Creative Ventus DNA. But performance-wise, I don't know how they do it. The perfumers over there at Hawas, like they might not make the most unique fragrances in the world, but Hawas Black really does outshine and perform fantastically compared to paying like excessive amounts of money for the original Creed Aventus. I love this. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you that all Middle Eastern fragrances or dupes and clones are better than the original, because there's plenty that's not. But Hawas Black is fantastic. This one I don't care for as much as I used to, because of that more like youthful bubblegummy feel is just not my style anymore as much as it once was. But this I'm wearing today, the Hawas Fire. I don't know what the notes are, but I actually think it's a fantastic, like very loud, very strong, long-lasting fragrance. It's incredible. It's beautiful. Somewhat, even though I don't want anybody to get upset me saying this, but my wife wore my Baccarat Rouge Extrait de Parfum yesterday. And in a way, again, I don't know what the notes for Hawas Fire is supposed to be, but in some strange, strange way, it's kind of reminding me of that. It makes me feel like a Baccarat DNA, and I like it. As you already probably know, Baccarat Rouge is extremely expensive. So if you can find anything that's even like close to that, because I've had this for months now, and you can see that I barely wear this because the way this like costs money. I haven't even filmed a review for the original Baccarat Extrait de Parfum yet. I just don't even think about it. It's a beautiful smell. I like it, but all of the Maison Francis Kirkjohn fragrances are just so expensive. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not rich rolling into money. Like, I know I've got a pretty decent collection here, but I don't just have money to throw away just for fun. So when I'm going to do reviews, I take it very serious which fragrances I purchase, so that I can talk to you guys about stuff and give you my honest thoughts and opinions. And fragrances that cost as much as Baccarat does, I don't know. It's not like it's magic in a bottle. It's fantastic for what it's worth, but when you can get something that's pretty decent for a cheaper price, so if you get like Hawas Fire, I think it's a better option. Hawas Ice is pretty good. It's like a more mature overall update to the original Hawas. But these new guys right here, the Black and the Fire, I think they're incredible. They definitely just kind of stepped it up a notch and take you to a different level. With that being said, talking about a few more cheapies before we go through my expensive fragrances. This is pretty popular right now on TikTok. A lot of people have been talking about it. I'm not sure if it's just as popular here on YouTube just yet. But Dumont Nitro Red supposedly has like a watermelon quality to it. Obviously, sometimes when you read note profiles, you're not always going to have them come through the way that they're supposed to. But this Nitro Red has actually been a pretty fantastic addition to my collection, because the sweetness, in a way, it reminds me of like a watermelony variation to the original Hawas. But it's actually really good. I wasn't sure what to think about it before I opened it up yesterday. I was kind of nervous because that watermelon quality that they say is in it, I thought it was going to be more like synthetic watermelon flavor that you get in like juices and stuff sometimes. It's really off-putting for me. But this one actually does perform and smells fantastic. It doesn't smell like cheaper for the price point as it is. With that being said, I'm going to talk about some of my current favorites. Bring these bad boys up here. I know it's a little confusing. I keep putting stuff on this shelf near all these, but it's just a little bit easier for me to show you guys what I'm specifically talking about. So, me currently trying out cheaper fragrances. I've got Coco Morado by French Avenue, and then over here, I got Liquid Brune by French Avenue. This, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be a dupe or clone of. I just ordered it because I was peeking out more French Avenue fragrances on their website, and I wanted to see, if the rest of them are as good as this, because I really, really love Liquid Brune. Like, it's supposed to be a Parfums de Marly out there dupe. I don't have the original anymore. I had it. I already did a review, posted it here. But it wasn't really my favorite because it was the first Parfums de Marly I purchased. But I was just kind of not feeling it because it was just not my thing. I really like the rest of these, like Haltane. I really like that one. I just did a video, if you guys want to check out on my channel, comparing this to Initio's Oud for Greatness. And honestly, Haltane by Parfums de Marly, Carlisle, Leighton exclusive, those are much more my speed. Ojon, definitely much more my speed. And my favorite, if I had to choose a favorite Parfums de Marly, honestly, Herod and Leighton. The original Leighton and Herod, these guys are my absolute favorite PDMs that you can choose. Something about them is just so beautiful. This one is so rich and mysterious, and I just love the way it performs. Not all of them perform equally. They're all about the same price, but not all of them give you what you want at about equal amounts. But Harrod and Leighton are just fantastic. But back to the Liquid Brune and the Coco Morado. This is an extremely rich, kind of smoky, incensey chocolate type of fragrance. More like a tobacco smoky type of fragrance. I think this is fantastic. These guys, especially depending on where you get them from, run you about that $30 to $40 range. I think this is incredible. So Coco Morado, definitely recommend giving it a shot, but it's not for everybody. So if you're looking for that more rich, spicy type of feel, definitely Coco Morado by Liquid, but not Liquid Broom. Coco Morado by French Avenue is an incredible choice. But Liquid Broom has become one of my absolute favorite fragrances. Like I said, I gave away my original Out There bottle because I was just kind of like not necessarily feeling it anymore. I don't know what it was. Maybe I cherished it too much, and because of the price, I wanted to wear it too often, and I didn't want to waste something that costed that much so that I wouldn't spend that money. But when I found Liquid Brune, and then recently, I also got in the other day Vanilla Dunes by Hadlaj. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I want to be respectful. But I just got in Hadlaj Island Vanilla Dunes. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This, by the way, Zeno, whoever just said hi, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Hello, good morning, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I'm here in the United States, and right now, I believe it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, Hadlaj's Vanilla Dunes and Liquid Brune, you can't really go wrong with either one of these. I had my wife check them out yesterday and see what she thinks is like kind of her favorite. She actually prefers Vanilla Dunes, although originally I preferred Liquid Brune, mostly because this one's a bit more sweet. This one definitely carries a little bit of a more floral undertones. It's a bit more light and maybe more mature. This, to me, is even better than the original. Both of these, I prefer them over Parfums de Marly's original Out There. Not trying to be a dupe hyper or like a Middle Eastern fragrance hype up person, but I prefer them over the original Out There. Mostly because the price versus the longevity is insane for both of these guys. I think they're roughly like 35 US dollars a piece. Whoever's watching, I'm not sure where you're from, but, and I'm sorry for lingering on these too long, but these are incredible. That vanilla pod, kind of cinnamon, but not too much. Just overall orange cream, but very lightly, just mostly vanilla pod type of thing. These are fantastic. So I think overall this one wins the cake because of it. They're both incredible performance. But because this has a little bit more of a mature floral type of thing, and overall, I love Gourmands, but floral is more my speed. So having that little bit more of a sweet floral background note, Hadlaj's Vanilla Dunes definitely wins against Liquid Brune for me. That's just my personal opinion. This is a little bit more on the sweet side, but Liquid Brune is fantastic. You cannot go wrong with it. And now I'm going to show you what I also got in yesterday by Hadlaj as well. Got in Island. This bad boy right here is, by the way, in case anybody's just starting to watch, just letting you know, this is I'm Andrew Douglas Lane. Introduce myself real quick. Andrew Douglas Lane. This is my fragrance channel, the Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel, and I usually review fragrances of all different kinds, from, like I said, cheaper end, do the like the niche, luxurious, expensive. I give you my honest personal thoughts and opinions as I review these bad boys. And I'll turn it back around so you guys don't have to see me anymore because I'm not the main focus point of this. But hello everybody, by the way, Me Walid, hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. Hey to you guys, thank you so much for watching. This is, just celebrating my channel. I'm about to get my silver play button. It's supposed to be coming this Tuesday. So just like I said, I want to show you guys my collection as it is so far. See what you guys' favorite fragrances are. And if you see anything here that you really like. But yeah, so like I said, anybody who's just starting to watch, I'm just taking you guys through a little tour of my current fragrance collection as I'm building it up. But anyway, I just got in Island by Hadlaj. And Vanilla Dunes I got first, but this one just came in yesterday. And this, in case you don't know, I have back here, I got this when it very first came out. This is Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Le Parfum. And this is a very pina colada-y, but mostly more coconut-oriented type of fragrance. And this bad boy was my wife's absolute favorite fragrance when I first got it. I just got this yesterday. It's supposed to be like a clone or variation of Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male or Le Beau Le Parfum. And to be completely honest with you, it is almost identical, although it has its own variation to it. I can't really tell you exactly what it is, but something about this is a little bit more relaxed, but a little bit sweeter in its own way. This is powerful, very long lasting, incredible fragrance. So if you're thinking about getting the original, please reply to my comment. Hey Zeno, I don't know how to reply. All those fragrances, wish you could donate one cheapie to me. I wish I could too, but my wife at this moment, I think at some point I might eventually do like giveaways and stuff like that, but my wife is very adamant about me keeping everything that I've got at this moment, since I like had to invest my money into this and like really trying to just build this channel. So for now, until I do all the videos and reviews, I'm holding on to all these. But Zeno, I think I'm saying your name correctly. Good morning. Hey, it's nice to meet you guys. But yeah, this right here, super long lasting. If you want to get the original, it's worth the money, obviously. Let me see what your first comment is, Zeno. All I see is you saying hello, but if you could just repeat your comment and I'll say hey to you, reply to you, whatever question you got. But I also see there was a few restricted comments. I don't know what that's all about, but anybody's welcome to ask me questions, whatever you guys want to talk about. Perfectly fine with me. Anybody's welcome here. Like I said, just taking you on a tour of my overall collection, explain some of my favorite fragrances. But yeah, back to it real fast. Island by Hadlaj, supposed to be a clone of this. I actually really love this because this was like $35. I got this when this first came out, Le Beau Le Parfum, and I believe it was like 150, something along those lines, maybe close to that range for the 4.2 fluid ounces. This is incredible, beautiful, strong, long-lasting summer fragrance, but you just cannot go wrong with this. What do you think about any clone of PDM? Honestly, I'm not too big of a fan of most of those clones at the moment. I mean, I haven't tried too many, but I have a friend who has a few. I personally prefer, this is the original, so that like Leighton versus Leighton exclusive, if you can see. I prefer just the original as it is. I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of clones for Leighton exclusive right now, but then again, they got to grow on you. Sometimes certain fragrances, especially clones and dupes, maybe you got to really give them a chance, wear them a few times and really judge fairly if you like them or not. But I just really love the original Leighton exclusive. But even for me personally, if I had to choose, Leighton as a whole is my absolute favorite of the two between them. And I wear regular Leighton a lot more often. As a matter of fact, down here in the back, I've got a 6.8 ounce. And I've also got down there, I haven't showed you guys, I've got the big bottle of Pegasus by Parfums de Marly, because Pegasus, Percival, and Leighton are some of my absolute favorites. So I went ahead and got this. You guys can see I've got multiple bottles of best summer parfum. Ooh, that's a tough question. Best summer fragrance. If I had to say, overall, I'm honestly going to go with a few here. Let me pull this down here real quick. If I had to give you guys my thoughts about like perfect summer fragrances, and not being sensational for a video, but in all seriousness, I'm going to go with probably Le Beau Le Parfum, or again, now you can get Hadlaj's Island, that coconut pina colada type of feel. But if you want something that's a little bit more aquatic, I'm going to give you two options here. So if you want mass appealing beachy fragrance, you've got Light Blue Intense by Dolce & Gabbana. Light Blue Eau Intense by Dolce & Gabbana is probably one of the classic perfect summer fragrances. If you want something that's a little bit more niche, if you want something that's a little bit more truly sea notes aquatic, 40 Knots by Zerjoff. Like I said, one of my top 3 favorite fragrances of all time. And it's just incredible. 40 Knots by Zerjoff, amazing summer fragrance if you're looking just to do that classic oceanic type of notes. Honestly, also though, I think that Naxos by Zerjoff, or any one of the Torinos by Zerjoff, is amazing. But like I said, Light Blue Eau Intense by Dolce & Gabbana, Fantastic summer fragrance. Versace Eros Energy and Versace Eros Parfum. Fantastic summer fragrances. And then now Hot Lodge's Island. Cannot go wrong with that. So I'm going to put Vanilla Dunes back where you go. And then I'm going to put my my little buddy over here, my Liquid Broom. I'm actually trying to figure out where my other bottle of Liquid Broom went. Oh, you know what? I tucked it away at the bottom. So this is my bottle of Liquid Broom. I got 2 bottles because I love it so much. But yeah, as far as perfect summer fragrances go, Hot Lodge's Island or the original La Bola Parfum, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, especially intense. And then definitely, like I said, 40 Knots by Zerjoff. And for springtime fragrances, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. Springtime fragrances, definitely Reflection, Buttery Iris, buttery, like beautiful floral iris by Amouage, fantastic. And I'm glad that somebody brought up Mancera, because down here, I can't see them too good because of the light. I just got Roses Vanille by Mancera. It's one of my like favorite fragrances in the entire world. But this little guy right here, Oud Lemon Mint. I've got Oud Lemon Mint by Mancera, and then I'll pull this out. Oud Lemon Mint, and then Oud Blue Notes. Both of these by Mancera are incredible. Incredible favorite fragrances, perfect for like the summertime when it comes down to it. And roses are some of my favorite fragrances as well. If you like springtime type of stuff, I've got Roses Greedy and then Roses Vanille by Mancera. Fantastic spring fragrances as well. If you want to spend a little bit more money, you can get Ardent by Boadicea Victorious. And there's another rose fragrance I recently got my hands on, and that is by Al Watanya. That is Rose Mystery Intense. So if you're looking for like pretty decent floral summer fragrances, something like that's really good. I know it says mystery, but even though it has a little bit of dark richness to it, still could be good for the springtime. But Mancera's Oud Lemon Mint and Mancera's Oud Blue Notes, fantastic fragrances for the spring. Can't complain, can't beat those bad boys. So that's my personal opinions. But again, if you guys got any fragrances you'd like to see me review on my channel, if you guys have anything, also got Cosmic Pepper back there by Mancera. Fantastic fragrance for the summertime, for the spring. Trying to think if there's any other ones. I know I really love Silver Mountain Water. Oh, Rayhan. Oh yeah, so here you go. Just got this in the other day as well. Rayhan's Elixir. I'm about to get the red one, the Crimson, and I'm also going to try, I think it's Tiger. I think that's Rayhan Tiger. So this is actually really nice. One of my other favorite classic fragrances is La Male Elixir by Jean Paul Gaultier. And I also recently filmed, if you guys want to go watch it, the review for La Male Elixir Absolu. Honestly, I personally prefer the original classic La Male Elixir, but the Absolu is still really nice. It has a plum note added to the original. Forgive me. Did a lot of talking yesterday, so my throat's a little dry. But this bad boy, trying this out for the first time, the Rayhan Elixir, I tried it out yesterday. Honest to goodness, not trying to hype it up, being dead serious. The performance for Rayhan Elixir is fantastic. They did an excellent job making it like a comparison to the original. There's something a little different about it. It has almost like a clay type of chalky vibe to this. I know that sounds bad. It's not. The Rayhan Elixir is fantastic. It's not exactly the same as the original La Male Elixir. So again, as I always tell people, if you're looking for like a perfect original, then you're going to have to save the money and get the original. But if you want something that's close enough and has incredible performance and longevity, all that stuff, Rayhan Elixir is amazing. And again, I also do recommend, before people just go out and buy this, the Elixir Absolute, fantastic fragrance, but please make sure you actually go give it a shot before you spend the money, because these are not the cheapest in the world. This, on the other hand, I believe like $45 for that, so you really can't go wrong. Yeah, I can't buy a clone and ask for same quality as OG. You are absolutely correct. A lot of times I think people get upset and disappointed when they buy clones and dupes, because they are expecting something to be perfectly exactly like it. And if that was even possible, to make something perfectly exactly a copy of the original. It kind of disrespects the original if you think about it like that. So if you go into buying a dupe like this, just knowing it's going to be close, but still its own thing, right? You are respecting the original and you are respecting the clone, because the perfumer who created the original put a lot of time and energy into making this formula the way that they did, and they have skill and their own creativity behind it. Now imagine if a painter painted a painting with their talent, their experiences, and then another painter came up and tried to do the exact same thing, or somebody maybe wrote a song about something very personal. Now imagine somebody else comes up and rewrites and does that exact same song, same notes and everything, same lyrics. That would be boring. But there's a lot of times in the world of music where people make a song and then you hear 10 other songs that have similar melodies but different stories. Same thing you need to expect whenever you are smelling fragrances and then you go and smell the clone. Because the dupe of the original is not supposed to be perfectly identical. It's supposed to be the same with variations. So when you smell Vanilla Dunes, when you smell Liquid Broom by French Avenue or by Hadlage, it is supposed to be a clone of Parfums de Marly's out there. But it has its own little twist on it to make it special, to make it different. So that's what you need to start expecting if you're the type of person who's wanting to buy clones, if you're wanting to buy dupes and things like, again, Aether Extract compared to Parfums de Marly's Greenly. They are super, super close. But at the end of the day, another thing is, and like May Walid just said, actually for daily I wear clones, but so exactly. If you want to wear something special for a special occasion, that's why you get the real thing, right? You want to go out and buy, even for me, for instance, right? I got Interlude, and then I got Interlude 45. Or 53, sorry, Interlude 53. Much more expensive version, much more highly concentrated. That's 53% fragrance oil. That's a lot more concentrated than the original Amouage Interlude. Why do I have this? Do you even need to have both? No, you don't need to purchase both if you're going to get one or the other. The reason why somebody like me would have 53 is for those very special occasions, perhaps, very special evenings, when instead of the original Interlude, I want something more smooth, something a bit more dense, rich, and smoky. That's why you would purchase something along those lines and add them to your collection and do a little something different. But you're not going to wear this every day. You're not going to throw on Amouage Interlude 53, especially if you don't just got money to throw away. You're not wearing that every day, right? You're going to wear the more cheaper, more relaxed version. So that's why we tend to do things like find better alternatives and cheaper alternatives. You see, I have all these Zerjoffs. I've got a lot more Zerjoffs down here at the bottom, but I don't wear them a whole lot. And that's not because I don't love them or that I wouldn't want to wear them every day. They're just very expensive. Each one of these bottles is a pretty good price. So I don't just throw it on, especially as you can see, Alexandria 2 by Zerjoff. I've got a small bottle and I've got a big bottle. And I actually, this is another situation where I tell people when you check out fragrances for the first time, you don't want to judge a book by its cover. You want to smell them and wear them and give them a shot, because regrettably, I reviewed this and posted it. And it's got like 11,000 views, something like that, of me saying that this really wasn't my thing. I really don't like it. But after I continued to try it, it actually has become one of my favorite fragrances in the entire world. So much so that, like I said, I went and got an extra bottle. But I barely wear it because it's so expensive. I think this is like $350 or $400 for a bottle, something like that. So you're not just going to throw that on every day, especially during the summertime, right? We're entering summertime. We're going to get into that season where you want to wear something cheap just to throw on every day because you're going to sweat. It's going to break off of you. So getting your Dolce & Gabbana Light Blues, getting your Eros Energy, something like that, it's a little bit more in that mid-price range. Or, of course, cannot go wrong if you're just looking for something nice and simple. You've got all the Rasasi Hawases to go with that are, again, even the new one, like the Fire or the Elixir that I've got on the way. I'm excited to try that out. I think it's supposed to be the Rasasi Hawas Elixir is supposed to be like another variation of these bad boys. I'm super excited. It's supposed to be coming in this week. Bro, when I buy anything expensive, I try it 2 times before I visit. I 100% agree with you. Can you talk about Aether? I bought one and I don't know what to expect. Sure, real quick. I'll talk about Aether real fast. Gonna be completely honest with you. I don't want to disappoint you or discourage you. But I do want to let you know that when it comes down to it, this smells very similar to the original Parfums de Marly Greenly. This has like that very similar DNA. I'd say it's about 85 to 90%, depending on the nose and the person. My wife, who doesn't like either one of these, smelled them next to each other. She just doesn't like green fragrances, and honestly, neither do I. So I'm being a little bit more objective than perhaps I might be about some other things, because in the fragrance world, it's like that. But these two right here are very similar. They're not perfectly matched, but they're close enough. But I will say, this performance right here, just like this one, it's very average. So keep this around because it's cheap enough that you can keep this with you and reapply it throughout the day if you should choose to do so. But don't expect that this bad boy right here, or either one of these really. That's why if you're going to get one, because these are close enough, I highly recommend if somebody's interested in the Greenly DNA, just go ahead and get Aether. Because even if you spent the $380 to get Greenly, this doesn't last nearly as long as you would like it to. Compared to something like Leighton or Ojon, I think you're looking at like on skin, you're looking at like 6 hours at best, maybe 4, depending on the person, unless you like really smash this on, because you got to just spray it and spray it and spray it. That's just not my style. So at least if you spent like the freaking $30 to get Aether, you can just keep it around with you and put it on. So after gym fragrance, just like keep it in your locker at work or whatever, or at school, and reapply this. It's perfect. And to my buddy just now jumping up in the chat, what's up, my friend? Absolutely, I got that Nitro Red in. It just came in yesterday, and dude, let me tell you something. So just getting in the Nitro Red yesterday, I was super, like I said this earlier in the stream, but I'm going to say it right now. I was nervous about this. Just as nervous as I was for the Rayhan Elixir. Did not know what to think about this. It's fantastic. If anybody's considering getting Nitro Red, I'm not sponsored, okay? I don't owe them anything, and they don't owe me nothing. I'd love to receive a bunch of free fragrances. That's not happening, so I have to spend my money on these. This bad boy right here, though, I got it in because I see people, especially on TikTok, hyping it up a lot. And I was like, So it says it's got a watermelon note. It says it's a little bit more on the fruity side. It's probably not going to smell very mature berry. It's not going to smell very mature. Well, to be completely honest with you, it actually is great. I think it's fantastic. It's super strong. I don't know what the overall ingredients for this was because I tossed the box out before I actually went over it. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to give you a breakdown. But it doesn't smell cheap. It doesn't smell childish or teenage or anything like that. I think teenagers could enjoy this. It's mass appealing. My wife fell in love with it as soon as I put it on. So immediately, if you've got a girlfriend, partner, wife, whatever, if she likes something, or whoever you are, if you're watching this, you got a boyfriend, I don't really care. If you got a partner and they really like something, you probably want to keep it around. So just being straight up with you guys, Nitro Red, fantastic choice. Totally recommend getting yourself a bottle of this because super strong, sticks to the skin like super glue. And I don't really like the bottle. This part right here slides up and down and it just doesn't feel good to me. I'm a little weird about textures. I don't know if any of you guys watching feel the same way. That's why, even though, just being straight up, no offense to anyone, I hate these bottles. I know some people think they're cool. I absolutely despise the Lamel bottles, the LeBeau bottles, and all that stuff. I like they're neat and all, but I don't like the way they feel. Again, no offense to anybody. It's just not my style. Obviously, no offense, but I'm not really like the whole man's body type thing. It's not my thing. But the smells are fantastic. So in a strange way, even though I don't like looking at them, they feel nice. Being able to give them a good grip. They're almost like a little man's body grenade. So you pull a little thing and throw it and it explodes. And they're such strong fragrances, it really is like a little bomb. So this, I despise this little leather piece right there. I also hate anything that's got a little jingly bit. I'm not trying to make silly little music with this, so there's no need to have a little... I might end up cutting that off. But regardless of me hating the bottle, okay, but regardless of me talking smack about the little slidey part that doesn't stay still, it is fantastic. If you're going to spend the freaking $35 or however much you're going to pay for Nitro Red, it's perfect. So, but like I said, I want to super duper hype up one of my favorite fragrances that I just got in because the original Hawas really died off for me. I kind of stopped wearing the original Hawas, but this has made me super excited for the Hawas Elixir to come in because, dude. Oh, by the way, everybody watching, totally forgot to throw this out there. I don't know if anybody celebrates or not, but in case you do, Happy Easter. Thank you guys for watching on Easter morning. So I don't know if anybody spiritually or what have you celebrates Easter, but happy Easter to you guys. God bless everybody for watching, so thank you. But thank you for spending your Easter morning with me. Uh-oh, gave you guys a little bit of the old double chin there. But anyway, so like I said yesterday, Hawas fire, just got that in. And not to sound like a cringy teenager, because I'm about to, in 2 weeks, I turned 32 years old. So if anybody watching wants to give me an early birthday present and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I've got buttloads of reviews, and I've already got 16 in the chamber that I haven't even posted yet, that I've reviewed. I got coming up. I've got a full detailed review for Amouage Interlude, Amouage Interlude 53, Black Iris. I got those bad boys filmed and ready to load. So if anybody hasn't subscribed yet and wants to check out my actual in-depth reviews, please go ahead and give me one of those, because like I said, birthday's in 2 weeks, and I don't know about you guys, but everybody likes a little subscribe, don't we? Yes. But anyways, back to it. Just giving you a little Easter morning tour over my collection overall. And like I said, I'm sorry for talking about this so much, but I just got this in yesterday, and it's like dummy good. Like, if you were looking for a very rich, dense fragrance that has something just awesome about it, to any like new viewers who haven't been watching for a little bit, sorry to bore anybody who has been watching, but these dudes right here are like crazy close to each other, even though I don't even know if they're supposed to be, because I don't even know what the notes of this is. I didn't look. I don't encourage blind buying. I don't encourage blind buying, but I straight up did that with Hawas Fire. Not gonna lie to you guys, Hawas Fire, Hawas Black, I literally did that 100%. I bought those without having a clue what the fragrance profiles were supposed to be. But again, as I showed earlier in this stream, Baccarat Rouge Extrait de Parfum by Maison Francis Kirkdom. Dude, I don't know again what the notes are supposed to be for this, but it smells excessively like in the same ballpark for me. My wife literally wore this yesterday as we went out on the town for the day, and gotta say, great performance and all that stuff. When it comes down to Baccarat Rouge, fantastic performance. I mean, obviously, if you're gonna be like that kind of person and spend that much money, but dude, get your hands on this. If you haven't yet, I highly recommend it, because it's not that bad. It's not that expensive. So if you can spend so responsibly, go for it. But yeah, just real back to it real quick. Hold on, let me read this comment. There's a Zerjoff fragrance I never heard anyone talk about. Zerjoff, my same name, a motorcycle company. I don't know about that. So I'll just take you through like a little tour of my Zerjoffs real fast. And down here, I got Alexandria 2. I've got the, what is this? The Iomi Special Monkey. By the way, if anybody wants anything that's like, there's not too many true to the core caramel Gourmand fragrances. There's things that have like a more fake synthetic caramel scent to them. But if you guys try out Special Monkey by Zerjoff, my daughter actually really loves that. And that is a long laster. It's not my speed. I prefer more vanilla type of stuff. But that is a beautiful, like, burnt-ish caramel cocoa almost type of fragrance. I've got Torino 21, 22, and 23 right there. Those are actually some of my favorites, although Torino 22 is probably my favorite of the bunch. I've got Naxos. Over here, I've got Zerjoff's Renaissance, which is also by the same family, excuse me, as the Naxos. Here, I've got Zefiro, which I just reviewed, I believe. No, sorry. I did a review of Renaissance, which I'm going to be posting soon. Back here, this is my wife's absolute one of her favorite fragrances in the entire world. She wears this one. I wanted to wear it, but since she wants to wear it, I kind of let it rock. But Opera by Zerjoff is my wife's favorite Zerjoff. It's also one of the cheaper ones you can get your hands on. This is an absolute explosion. It's very elegant, very mature, and this right here will stick to you like super glue. I swear to you, I'm not sensationalizing. If you get your hands on Opera by Zerjoff, this is dummy good. Like, this one will stay. There's my 40 Knots, one of my favorite fragrances. This one's one I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest with you. I love most of Zerjoff's, but more than words. I have smelled this and given it shot after shot. It has a type of chocolate note to it, but it just isn't my thing, dude. I just am not the biggest fan of it in the world. Somebody asked what my thoughts are on Le Beau. I'm assuming that you were talking about Le Beau, like by Jean-Paul Gaultier. If that's what you're talking about, I said early in the stream, and I'll bring it back for you guys. And hello, Utikak. Hopefully, I said your name properly. If I didn't, I'm sorry. But Le Beau is fantastic. It's one of my wife's favorites. It's one of my favorites. Very good summertime fragrance. Hard to beat with the coconut, the pina colada feel. Also, real quick before I keep going, I'm gonna answer my buddy here. So you prefer the basic bottle, like Dior Sauvage bottle? Me too. I've got the back there Dior Homme Intense. And then it's an older formulation, by the way. I've heard that they've reformulated Dior Homme for like the update 2025. And I've heard that the new Dior Homme Intense is actually a little bit disappointing. So I haven't tried it yet. But I've got one from like 2023. It's pretty amazing, but it's not really my speed. But I've got Dior Sauvage Parfum. I like these bottles. I like the metallic caps. If anybody's ever taken the cap off, by the way, if you can see inside of there. I also love that they have the little bumblebee inside of the Dior caps. It's like a nice little touch for anybody who's looking. As you can see, I've got Dior Sauvage Elixir. But yeah, back to answering about, so when will be your first giveaway? You know what, Schmetterling, little butterfly? I don't honestly know because like I said, spent the money to get all these. So I'm working through them for reviews, little bits at a time. By the way, Schmetterling, I don't know if you're actually German or not, but hallo, guten Morgen. In case you are German, me and my wife went to Munich for our honeymoon, and it was like one of the best experiences of our life. We love Germany. We went to Nuremberg and Tegernsee and all that stuff. But anyway, next we're hoping to go to Japan. We also want to go to Morocco. I have ancestry from Iran, so we want to go check out Tehran and places like that at some point. So maybe I can go experience like actual fragrances and perfumery where they're from. But anyway, my next order is going to be a Blind Vibe Encre Noir. Oh, okay, hold on a second. Before you get Encre Noir, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. And please, guys, don't be angry at me for saying this. If anybody likes Encre Noir, I hated it. All right? I'm saying it very seriously. I like oud fragrances. I've got Tom Ford's. Oh, by the way, did I just turn my microphone off? Okay, I don't think I did. Sorry. If anybody can hear me, please let me know. So if anybody can actually understand me. By the way, anybody who's in Deutschland, really grateful to have you guys here. For just a little while, me and my wife were studying Deutsch, but I'm not very good at it, especially like on the spot. But anyway, with that being said, so I'm not a huge fan of Encre, but no, mic good. Thank you so much for letting me know that my microphone's good. I pressed a button by accident when I was trying to turn the screen around, so I thought I screwed it up. But thank you guys for letting me know that. I really appreciate it. But anyway, so like I said, Zerjoff's one of my favorites. Hawas is some of my favorites. I really want to get Lyric. A lot of people talk smack about Lyric, and I personally want to try it. But Interlude instead of Encre Noir, like I don't know what a good switch off for Interlude would be. I haven't tried too many dupes of Interlude. I haven't actually tried any, if I'm going to be completely honest. I just only have the original actual Interludes. It's just like a lot of people prefer Interlude's Black Iris because it's a little bit more palatable for most people. It's a little bit more bright and sweet. But to be completely real with you guys, original Interlude is my favorite. This was the first Interlude that I smelled, and I work for a company who produces candles. Like we make and produce wax and then hundreds and hundreds of fragrances for people who make candles. So we are a candle making supply company. That's what I work for. And one of our fragrances that we use, that we sell for people, is called Bonfire. I don't remember the other name. And then Leather and Labdanum. And it smells so much like Interlude. So long before I even purchased or smelled Interlude for the first time, I was already in love with a scent that's very close to this. So once I got the chance to actually smell Interlude for real, dude, I absolutely fell in love. And then I got the bottle of Black Iris because everybody online that I was watching reviews for, and this is exactly why you've got to remember, reviews are subjective and people's opinions are people's opinions. So don't just always count what people say, like my opinions. If you watch my reviews and you see me talk about these fragrances, guys and gals, just know that whatever I say about something is what I think. And it might not be how you feel. To the person here in the chat who said they want to try Encre Noir, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I personally didn't care for it. I absolutely hated it and gave it away. And by that, I gave it away. It's the only fragrance ever. I threw it in the trash. But you might love it. So me talking smack about it doesn't mean that it's actually not worth having. But Interlude, though, I fell absolutely in love with. That's just like this bad boy, right? Royal Tobacco by Amouage. This is one of my wife's favorite fragrances that I have, but I don't wear it a whole lot. It's hard to wear on most occasions because some of these fragrances are so dense and smoky and like they're very specific that it's just hard to actually enjoy. By the way, I apologize if my camera's like moving a whole lot. But your boy drank a whole lot of water before I started this stream, and it's been going on for 45 minutes now. So at this point, not to be too graphic, but kind of got to use the bathroom. But I'm gonna end it probably a little bit soon. But just to take you guys on a quick tour real fast. And then if you guys like seeing my collection, if you're excited to see when I do actually go through all of these and do the full reviews for all these bad boys, if you guys want to see that, if you're excited about it, please subscribe to my channel. Like I said, my birthday is in 2 weeks, about to be 32 years old. I would really appreciate it if you guys would go watch my videos, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that junk, and let me know what you guys think, what you want to see me review. And I promise to God, I will always give you my honest thoughts, my honest opinions, because some of these fragrances are absolutely amazing. Like, dude, down here, we've got the classic. Let me actually move some of these out of the way real fast. We can talk about them more in a second. But some of these fragrances are like absolutely fantastic to me. Like this one right here, Killian's Angel Share, right? This one's really, really popular in the fragrance community, but I've had this for like 2 months. And as you can see, I haven't used it a whole lot. Why have I not used it a whole lot? Because in comparison to a lot of my fragrances here, honest to God, it's dummy expensive. The price for Killian Angel Share for the bottle that you get, I would rather you go buy something like Oud Silk Mood, because this has excellent performance. Don't get me wrong. But if you was to go get yourself one of these, if you was to go get yourself Latafa Hamra, either version, it's not a one-to-one copy. So you're not going to get like a perfect cover if you're looking for the Angel Share DNA. If you want exact Angel Share DNA, you're going to have to get Kismet Magic, but I don't like it. It's not really my speed. But the price you pay for this is so insane when you could get Kismet Magic, or you could get either one of these Latafas right here and have just as good performance. Not sensationalizing, dead serious, could have just as good performance, but overall, just as amazing richness and fragrance. But you're spending like 35 bucks on these bad boys right here, a max of $40 versus like 300. That's insane. So some of these fragrances I wouldn't never want a replication for. Like for me, I know that they're supposed to be pretty good dupes for Reflection by Hawas, but I love the original so much. I would never dare put like a clone of that to my nose. But when it comes down to getting something like these Latafa babies right here, honestly, they're better than the original. I much prefer them, and I highly suggest and recommend you guys go get your hands on one. Just a few more before I jump out of here. And thank you guys so much for watching. I got 8 likes right now, and I really, really appreciate you guys. Also, to my good, amazing buddy, I really do appreciate you enjoying my fragrance collection. I thank you guys all for giving me some love this morning. It's been a nice little Easter treat. So just to finish this off, sorry, my voice is starting to get wore out, which is cool because since I do have family stuff to do later to celebrate Easter with like my in-laws and everything, I didn't want to have to talk a lot anyways today because I'm tired. So wearing my voice out on stream is probably the better option. So today, I also got Bianco Latte by Giardini di Toscana. This is crazy. I really love this. It is a vanilla explosion bomb. Real quick, just to answer my buddy here in the comments, my favorite Bond number 9. I'm going to be straight up with you. That is a brand I haven't got to yet. I've been checking out all these other ones because I've been working my way through them little bits at a time. I pick a brand and then I try to explore them for a little while. They've got Bond number 9 at the local Nordstrom, and I've seen all the bottles. They got pretty much every one I can try, but I haven't tried any yet. They're expensive enough. I'm going to get there at some point, but because I've gotten so many of these more expensive fragrances already, as you can see, I'm trying to work through some cheaper ones. So if you've got any suggestions, thank you, Joe, for commenting. If you've got any suggestions, I really appreciate it. So as for what fragrance I'm going to wear today, I'm already wearing it right now. And the fragrance that I chose for today in particular was this right here. I chose Island by Hadlaj because I thought about it long and hard, and I was like, well, which fragrance would I like to wear? It's a special occasion. It's a holiday, and I want to celebrate. But it's also summertime, and I live here in North Carolina, and it's like a gajillion degrees today once it actually heats up. And like I said, I already burned through, you can't really tell, but I burned through quite a bit of my Le Beau Le Parfum already. So I was like, well, let me stick to this guy because I'm honestly probably going to wear this a lot this summer. So today, I'm wearing this baby right here. Also, again, thank you, Joe, so much for suggesting which fragrances I should try out. Sweet Rosewood sounds amazing. Hopefully that's like an actually like real true rose fragrance because I'm crazy about rose. Rose is one of my favorite scent profiles. And if I had to tell you guys some of my absolute favorite rose fragrances, Rose Incense by Amouage. Oh my God. If you like rose. So originally this Ardent by Bodicea Victorious was my favorite roses fragrance, but it's so expensive. I don't really want to use it a whole lot. This one's obviously not that much cheaper, but this one projects and performs to me way better. So Rose Incense by Amouage is an insanely good rose fragrance. But talking about Ardent by Bodicea Victorious, this bad boy right here, guys, Roses Vanille. It's supposed to be a more feminine fragrance, so they say. I don't buy into that crap. Just throwing this out there, but I wear whatever I want. I don't give a crap if something's supposed to be feminine, all that junk doesn't matter to me. But for me, by the way, just throwing this out there, Joe, I don't know what a toy boy is. I really don't. If that's some kind of joke, then I'll laugh with you. But I actually, like, being dead serious, I don't know what I don't know what a toy boy is. But with that being said, Roses Vanille, dude, one of my absolute favorite fragrances. I think this is fantastic. And then also, again, not to be crazy, but as a dude, I still like to wear womenly, girly fragrances sometimes. And dude, this one right here, if you're looking for like a good rose fragrance, Roses Greedy, bro. Roses Greedy by Mancera is stupid, stupid good. So if you're looking for a rose fragrance, and just throwing this out there again, by the way, people who tell you, if you're a dude, people who say things like, don't wear feminine fragrances, don't wear rose stuff, screw that. Women, just throwing this out there, they love women's fragrances. Women, I can speak from my wife's perspective, I can speak for all the women that I work with, they absolutely love women's fragrances. So guess what? If you're walking around wearing like a more feminine rose-oriented floral fragrance or something along those lines, or like a very bright mango fruity fragrance, like I've got Herba Pura by Zerjoff. It's a very like bright mango type of fragrance. Guess what? Women like that kind of stuff. So if anybody tells you you can't wear something because it's supposed to be it's like more feminine stuff, they're full of it. This is actually, not to be funny, but like this is all my collection so far, and as it's expanding, here's my wife's collection. And I'm not showing you this like, oh, I don't buy her anything. She's just very, very particular about the type of stuff she wears. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Toy Boy, like the most known masculine rose scent. Oh my God. You know what? I'm sorry. I actually thought you were making some kind of like, no offense, some type of like silly, crude joke or whatever, which again, I was going to laugh with you if you were. I know what you're talking about now. I want to get myself a bottle of that. So I saw it on somebody's like TikTok recently. They were talking about it, but I never smelled it. Never smelled it, never come across it, but I actually want to because certain fragrances that are more masculine rose have like a smoky quality. Kind of like people kept saying to try Portrait of a Lady. I reviewed that recently. Gave it away, by the way. Gave the bottle away because I only had a sample. But I reviewed it recently, but it wasn't for me. It was too raspberry fruity rose. I don't like that. I like either pure garden rose scent, Lily of the Valley, or I really, really like that whole like smoky vanilla type of rose. So again, Rose Incense by Amouage, fantastic. But real quick, by the way, hey, Dr. Beast, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting, my friend. But this is my wife's, one of her current favorite fragrances. This is Black Opium Special Edition by YSL. She's got these two Yaras by Lattafa. My wife has Good Fortune Elixir by Victor and Rolf. She also, I haven't done a review for this yet, but I'm going to have my wife join me in some reviews coming up. She's a little camera shy. We had another channel where we used to do stuff like paranormal investigations and ghost hunting and things because I grew up personally I don't know if I believe in ghosts or not, but I really love the paranormal. So on our other channel that we used to do, we used to go to places around North Carolina that are supposed to be haunted and do investigations. So my wife, me and her used to do that a whole lot. So she would be on camera, but she's kind of shy when it comes to doing fragrance reviews because until she met me, my wife never collected fragrances before, so she's a little bit nervous. But we just got her, when this very first came out, we got the Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana, and she loves this, dude. But she also loves the Blue Jasmine by Dolce & Gabbana. But these guys right here, Good Fortune by Victor and Rolf, the Yara by Lattafas, and then Black Opium, those are her current favorites, along with Amouage Reflection and Zerjoff Opera. As far as what you just said, do I have that one? I'm not going to pronounce it because I don't want to be disrespectful and I can't pronounce it properly. But no, I do not have that fragrance. By the way, guys, I'm just going to see. I'm not sure if there's a way to like pause my stream, but if you guys don't mind, I'm probably going to bore the crap out of you, but I'm going to be back in just a couple of seconds. So for now, I'm going to leave my phone right here looking at this. If you guys stop watching, that's okay. But like, I dead serious gotta use the bathroom. I want to keep talking with you guys and answering your questions, but I'm literally going to run away for a couple of seconds. So feel free to keep looking at my collection. Feel free to, if you just don't want to watch anymore, but it's going to take like 2 minutes. So I'll be right back, and I apologize, you guys. Okay. So again, I'm surprised that anybody's actually still watching. Thank you guys for not bailing out on me. Like I said, I'm really sorry I had to use the bathroom because this stream's been going for a few minutes short of an hour. So yeah, if you guys could hear me also while I was using the bathroom, I'm sorry. But anyway, back to it. Like I was saying, my wife got the Black Opium by YSL. That's currently like her number one favorite woman's fragrance. Her first fragrance I got for her, I don't have in here. I actually think it's probably in our bathroom in here. But sorry, it's a little bit messy. We just literally moved in not that long ago. But my wife has Valentino's Green Stravaganza, and then she's got Versace Eros Parfum. That was my wife's original favorite fragrances. Also, I got Febreze around here somewhere if we want to be funny about it. But I'm honestly still working on my filming location within our house. You know what? Not to be funny, but real quick, if any of you guys watching don't mind leaving your comments, I'm gonna take you guys around our house real fast and see if you guys can like tell me if you think this would be a good spot to film or not. So sorry again, it's kind of barren because we literally just moved in. That's our yard. Like I said, we live in North Carolina. That's our little deck back there. And we just moved into this house 2 months ago, so we're still trying to get everything kind of coordinated. But I was actually thinking this spot right here near the screen deck might be a cool spot, like a background, because I got a tripod coming in. So if you guys could comment, and thank you guys for your comments already so far. If you guys could tell me what you think about maybe this being a good location, because I could put some, like move that TV and put some fragrances along there whenever I do reviews. So if you guys think this would be a good spot for me to do that, I really appreciate you letting me know, because so far I got a light coming in, I got a cool tripod coming in, But living in a new house, I really just don't know where I want to actually film our videos yet. And also, this is where my wife does her other job. She's a professional. I'm showing this off, by the way, because I'm obviously very proud of my wife. I love what she does, and she has a business which has been very successful developing from her old job where she does flower preservation. So that's why I love rose fragrances and floral fragrances, because it makes me think of my wife. Ever since we've met, she's been an artist and she does flower preservation for funerals and weddings and then makes shadow boxes, which are really cool. So she preserves people's flowers by drying them out and using special paint to make them last forever. So I know anybody watching who doesn't care about this, they just want to see fragrances, whatever. This is my channel where I talk about not just fragrances, but also my life and kind of show you who I am. So I do. I thank you for saying that, Code 2090. Like, I love my wife with all my heart, and I love like taking a break to show off what she does, because she, like I said, she preserves these flowers and then makes them into these really cool shadow boxes. And I'll show you real quick because I'm just really proud of her. So this is the one that she did for our wedding, where when we got married, she preserved these flowers into a cool thing that hangs on the wall, and these will last forever. So these are the real flowers that's from our wedding, from her bouquet. But she dried them and painted them. And now for the rest of our life, we'll always have this that we can hang anywhere. So I think that's really cool. So for people's funerals and all that stuff, and for weddings, she does that for them, and then they never go away and they get to keep them. But anyway, like I said, this is our new house in our living room and stuff. And just was kind of curious if you guys could comment and tell me what you think, if this would be a good spot to film, or perhaps if I could set up a cool place in the living room, because I don't really have space to build a huge wall and do like my fragrances along it. But yeah, and then I'm not going to take you guys too much through the rest of the house, but this is, like I said, our new home that we just bought. And here's our bedroom. And then in our closets where I keep all the fragrances. But I appreciate you guys watching, because ever since I hit 100,000 subscribers, I know that a lot of the people who have been watching are from Algeria, from India, and places like that. And I've been trying to get more consistent views, because even though I appreciate so much everybody subscribing, it's even more important to me when people actually watch my reviews and like and comment and share my reviews, because I really want to make this, hopefully one day, more of a full-time thing. And by the way, hello in Germany. It actually makes me really happy to you guys watching from Deutschland, because like I said, we literally went to, that's my hat from our honeymoon trip a year ago to Munich, Germany. And like I said, we went to Nuremberg, we went to Tegernsee. We wanted to go to Valkensee, but we could only do so much during our time there. But Germany immediately became one of our favorite places in the entire world. And it's interesting because not an incredible amount of popular fragrances come from Germany, but yet a huge amount of people in the fragrance community are from there. I mean, we all know Jeremy Fragrance. And just to do my best Jeremy Fragrance impression real quick, do a little bit of dancing. Oh, long lasting. I would spray myself a whole bunch, but literally I don't want to waste my fragrances. Unlike Jeremy Fragrance, I don't have eau de cologne. I don't have millions of subscribers and millions of dollars to just throw away. So when I got fragrances, I got to take care of them. But you said, I think it's amazing, even better if the flowers will last forever. Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you saying that. Like, it's so cool to me that that's even possible. Before I met my wife way back, I didn't even know preserving flowers was something you could do. But like I said, because my wife, has been working with flowers forever, that's why rose fragrances mean the most to me. Which is funny, by the way. My wife works with flowers professionally. In her day job, she's works for a flower wholesaler, for florist, and then also, like I said, she has the side business preserving flowers, but she doesn't like floral perfumery. She's actually only starting to like floral perfumery because I wear it. But she hates rose fragrances just for women. She thinks they're better on men. But anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for commenting so far. Like, it means the world to me. And yeah, like I said, I don't just got money to throw away with these fragrance reviews and stuff like that. So when I buy something, I do it very intentionally, because it's something that I want to review, something that I want to smell, and things that people have asked me to review. I started falling in love with roses. People need to stop and smell. That is a perfect thing to say, my friend. People need to stop and smell the roses, because life is way too short, you guys. On my channel, like I said, I don't just want to talk about fragrances. When I'm doing my stuff on my channel, I also want to talk about life. Because, dude, I've got my own personal experiences. I don't, no offense to anybody out there who drinks or anything like that or parties, but like I myself personally quit partying and drinking and stuff about 7 years ago. Literally on my birthday in a couple of weeks. In 2 weeks, I turned 32 years old, and on my actual birthday, it will be 7 whole years since I quit drinking, quit smoking cigarettes. So now I can even do these reviews properly because I can smell good. Like I can actually smell the fragrances. For 11 years, dude, I smoked 3 packs a day. I'm not exaggerating. For 11 whole years of my life, I smoked 3 packs a day. I also vaped, all that crap. I used to do things I shouldn't do. And you're absolutely right. People end up in coffins not taking care of themselves and stuff like that. So it's very important to me to take care of my body. And even though I have gained weight in this past year, I originally lost over 100 pounds from like eating better and exercising every day. Well, after me and my wife first officially got married, we started eating like crazy, as you can imagine, especially when we went on the honeymoon and stuff. So I've gained 30 pounds, going to start working on losing that. But like I said, I quit smoking, quit drinking all that stuff 7 years back in a couple weeks. I'll be celebrating that. And doing this has been important to me. So all you guys who have subscribed, and like I said, this Tuesday, my silver play button with Douglas Moon fragrance is going to be arriving in the mail. And I'm going to be doing an unboxing video for that for anybody who wants to watch. But to think that I changed my life and started taking care of myself, and now I got a YouTube channel where I'm literally receiving a silver play button. I'm not saying this to brag. Like, as you can see, dude, I'm not the most attractive person ever. I'm not the coolest person ever. But I have learned to love myself. So when I'm telling you guys I'm about to get my silver play button and showing you guys my fragrance collection, I'm not doing this to show off. I'm doing this because I want to show you guys out there that whatever you're going through, whatever you've got going on in your life, guys, I don't care where you live in this world, bro. I don't care if you live in Germany, in France, in South Africa, Tunisia, wherever, dude. I want you to know that you can truly like experience change and growth in this life. So forgive me if you only came here just to hear about fragrances. Again, ask me about anything in my collection. I'll show you guys anything in my collection. But like not to be too preachy, but my channel here at the Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel, it's about more than just fragrance. It's about community. Because just yesterday at the local mall, somebody asked me, a guy that I met asked me about what fragrance I was wearing, and he's a really nice dude. And I was explaining to him it was just a roll-on rose fragrance that I have, right? But I was explaining to him how for me, fragrances are so special. And this dude studies psychology. Jonathan, if you're out there watching, if you ever see this, he's an amazing guy. He's actually studying at university psychology. And we talked about how fragrances is an incredible way that you connect to people and make memories. And actually, like for me, I used to go through like abuse when I was a child. And I'm going to get into the complete details, but I used to go through physical harm as a kid and escaping and going and smelling my mom's fragrances used to be. I know it might sound stupid or strange, but that's what got me into perfumery. Scents helped me calm down. I was a very sensory person. Smelling my mom's fragrances helped me relax and calm down when I was like getting away from turmoil. So to this day, I like showing people fragrances and talking about fragrances because it's an amazing way to make memories. So that's why people who are trying to build these crazy collections, just spending all their money, just buying stuff just to buy it, don't do that. If you're going to buy fragrances, and I'm glad you guys watch reviews, if you're going to buy fragrances, it should be something you really want to add to you. Because that's what these are for, guys. These are for expressing yourself. And you don't just want to have a bunch of crap to express yourself. You want to have stuff that really feels true to who you are. Which roll on rose fragrance did you have? I don't have it in the house. I'll have to show you guys at another time, maybe the next time I do a stream. But there's this company who is called, the scent itself is called Victorian Rose by, I think it's like Moonlight Rose or something like that fragrances. Again, I'll have to like maybe go back and comment it in here later. But roll on fragrances, if you can get your hands on roll on perfumery, fantastic stuff, guys. But it lasts really well as well. But yeah, dude, these fragrances mean a lot to me, and I can't wait to continue to film these guys and review them and show you what I got. So I'm about to pick the phone back up and start going through again just a little bit more and show you guys a few more of the things I have that I haven't shown you yet. So in case you're tuning in, to you guys who are watching, it's been an hour and 9 minutes now that I've been doing this. But in case you don't know, I'm Andrew Douglas Lane, the Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel. It's called that because of my middle name. Plus me and my wife, we always, since we met, have an inside joke about the moon. We love the moon. We think moon art's cool. As lame as you guys might think that is. So, Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel, where I give you my personal honest thoughts and opinions when I review these fragrances because I don't want you just buying stuff just to buy it. So anyways, Rose is Greedy, fantastic fragrance. We're going to get back to that. To anybody who's curious, one more time before I put this away, Rayhan Elixir, absolutely fantastic fragrance. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do for a second. I'm going to try some of these babies out. I'm going to fill this closet up and get it nice and funky in here. Let me see if I can find the right angle to stand at so that you guys can see what I got going on. But this is amazing. To be honest, this is like a mixture. This is almost like a perfect mixture of Jean Paul Gaultier's La Mel Elixir with just like the slightest amount of Dior Homme Intense. I mean, again, that's just like what I'm smelling. That's my personal thoughts about this. But like, I really think that you should get this. If you're considering getting La Mel Elixir, what fragrance do you recommend for a first date? Ooh, that is a very good question. By the way, not to be too off sidetrack, but when I do see people comment, I'm going to answer you. Whatever you ask me, I'm going to answer you guys. So, first date, here's a big thing. Depends what age you are. So, I would say if you're more in the teenage range, if you want to be like, more luring in, more attractive, something along those lines, especially I'm assuming if you're like the more teenage range, you're not going to be spending an incredible amount of money. So, to be honest with you, I would say something like this would actually be a really good choice. The Rayhan Elixir, or if you've personally bought Jean Paul Gaultier's La Mel Elixir, if you can do that, because it's for a smaller bottle. The La Mel Elixir or La Mel Parfum, I think, are around like the $90 to $120 range. I think those would be great first date fragrances. Honestly, Armani Code is a really good first, especially the Parfum, a really good first date fragrance. But let's see. I actually want to say this new guy right here, the Hawas Fire. I think this would be a really nice one for a first date because just smelling this for the first time, it's very sexy. Like I said, it almost has like a fruity baccarat type of feel to it. I think this would be very alluring and pull somebody in. And as far as a beast mode cologne, ooh, that's a good one because between everything, like I said, trying the new Nitro Red or like the Rayhan Elixir, straight up Jean Paul Gaultier's La Mel Elixir or the Le Beau Le Parfum. You get Le Beau Le Parfum, or let me see if I can find out where I put it. If you get any one of these Hot Lodge fragrances, I can 100% tell you these are like stupid good. I don't have the Lord Noir yet by Hot Lodge. I did get the Hot Lodge, what is it? There's like a cream cafe one. Like it's supposed to be like Cafe Amour. I got that one coming in right now. I can't wait to smell that because these guys are like stupid explosives. These or Liquid Brune. Honestly, I'm going to reel it back. I think those would be excellent first date fragrances because out there, by Parfums de Marly's great. If you've got the money, if you don't mind spending a little something, if you're more mature, if you're a little older and you'd like to know what I think is a good first date fragrance, this will definitely make you stand out. Carlisle by Parfums de Marly. Again, if you've got the money to spend, because this is again like $415, $420, maybe $380 depending on where you get it. But this bad boy right here, Carlisle, I think is a fantastic first date fragrance. So highly recommended if you've got the money, if you want to go for it. But if you don't have the money to get Eau John or any Parfums de Marly, 100% Vanilla Dunes or freaking Liquid Brune by French Avenue. Can't go wrong with those. You asked me, my friend, the Supreme 99, does the island last long? Surprisingly, yes. Like I said, I've only recently started buying clones like CLONES and dupes. I only recently started getting those because for the longest time, for my channel's reviews, I was just focusing on getting the Zerjoffs and like expensive fragrances. Only in the past couple weeks have I started getting all these like cheapies, as they call them. And to be honest with you, I was shocked because Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Le Parfum is like a beast. It really, really is. I know that might be hard to believe for a lot of people because typically like fresher citrus fragrances don't last that long. Some of them do, like the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. It lasts really well, has good like overall performance. But a lot of citrusy fragrances don't perform that well. And this is that, but it also has the adage of like the coconut. So there's a mild bit of vanilla coconutty sweetness in Gourmand, but honestly, it lasts extremely long. Like I said, this is what I'm wearing today. When I first got this in yesterday, on one arm, I sprayed 2 sprays of Island. And on the other arm, I sprayed One spot, Nitro Red, and the other spot I did the Hawas Fire. So I gave them time. I wanted to see how they perform. All three of them blew my mind for how well they did. Does it last for 10 hours? So I'll tell you this. Hawas Fire gave me maybe about 8 hours of like decent strength, but then it went super, super close to the skin. Nitro Red is a monster, and it really lasted quite a good amount of time. But like you just said, it can be very iffy for some people. It's not exactly for everybody because of those watermelon notes and stuff, but it's a beast. But this definitely lasts an extremely long time. This lasts over 10 hours if you're talking about a skin scent, but as far as like radiating off of you, I would say on clothes, this and the original LeBeau have like 18 hours plus performance, but on skin, if you want it to be coming off of you without reapplying, you're probably looking at about a good 9 to 10 hours of like decent overall performance. But like it's not gonna be, most fragrances aren't just gonna be reeking off of your skin for longer than like 6 hours. Something along those lines, like good sillage. But for us on clothing and stuff, these are insane. So Hot Lodge Island, highly recommend it. Thanks for the review. Oh, I recommend it. No, like again, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I don't even know if I ever. I want to make like some pretty decent money doing this channel. Don't get me wrong; it'd be really cool if I could do this someday, somehow, full time, and like have some type of living coming from doing this channel. But for right now, I'm really not getting anything. To be completely honest with you guys, so I'm not getting free fragrances. I'm not sponsored. If somebody wants to start sending me free fragrances, that'd be awesome. But when I buy these, I'm telling you guys straight up if it was worth it or not, because that's important to me. So when I say something's worth getting, I mean it. Like I swear to you guys. So over Le Beau Le Parfum, I definitely recommend if you can get the original, but 100% worth buying. Vanilla Dunes. What's my favorite Zerjoff? I'm so happy that you asked. And I will do that real quick. I'll show Supreme 99. I'll show you here in a second what I've got. But to the person who just asked me, to Brunito, you asked me what my favorite Zerjoff is. And you actually hit the nail right on the head. Because my favorite Zerjoff just happens to be Naxos. Naxos by Zerjoff is not only my favorite Zerjoff, it's also one of my top 2 favorite fragrances in the entire universe. If you're thinking about getting this is one of those fragrances like 40 Knots or like Reflection by Amouage. I'm never going to ever smell a clone of this. Not that I'm not saying somebody probably can't do a good dupe of Naxos, but I love this one so deeply. I refuse to smell a clone of this because Naxos is just insanely beautiful, unique, extremely well done. I don't even want to like taste or smell like a copy of this and be disappointed in any way, shape, or form. So, which one is that? This is Naxos by Zerjoff, and this is 40 Knots by Zerjoff. So, if anybody wants to know what my favorite Zerjoffs are, these two right here are my top. Naxos, 40 Knots. It's like these are some of the greatest favorite fragrances I've ever personally smelled in my entire life. So if you've got the money, especially if you go somewhere like Max Aroma, or I've never used Joma's shop. I don't know if they're any good, so I don't want to recommend them if they're not any good. But like I use Fragrance Net, or I also use Max Aroma if I'm going to get stuff for a cheaper price. Although I did buy one of my Naxos bottles full price, but this one I got actually on a discount. They're the same ones. I tested them side by side. But my favorite, well, don't forget to show the top 15. So you want to see the top 15 dupes? I don't even have 15 dupes, to be honest with you. I've only got a handful, but I can show you the ones that I actually like. So over time, as I'm collecting more dupes and more clones versus the originals, I'm going to do reviews of those. And just for you, so your name on here is the Supreme 99. I will do for you at some point or another a full top 15 dupes that exist for me personally. It's going to take a while, but I will get there to do that for you. And please, if you can, remind me over time in some of my comments. But as far as 40 knots goes to code 2090, I hope you like it. I hope you like 40 knots. I hope it brings you a lot of joy. To me, it's amazing. This is actually funny because I used to only buy designer fragrances because, again, my first exposure to fragrances, I didn't really know any better. But as time went on, right, and I had more exposure to fragrances, do you know the influencer Aromatics? I don't know him personally, but I have seen his videos. I think he's cool. I'm just going ahead and throw this out there. Tell you, Joma Shop is very legit. Thank you, Michael Hanna, for letting me know that, because I've never got anything from Joma Shop, and I'm glad you told me, because again, I've only used Fragrance Net, I've only used Max Aroma. Now I'm trying to buy things full price now that I kind of can, because I want to be a little bit more respectful. But anyway, I haven't bought anything from Aromatics yet, but I would like to check his stuff out at some point. As I'm now collecting things that are more on the dupe or more on the clone side, I know I saw that he launched fragrances, because I just literally like 5 days ago started a TikTok for my account. So if any of you guys use TikTok, I just started using it, but if any of you guys have done that, and I think in about an hour I'm gonna go live on TikTok doing this same thing. Just look up Douglas Moon Fragrance on TikTok. Find me there if you want to follow me or whatever. That's cool. If you just want to stay here, that's great. But I do follow Aromatics, and then like people like Cal Cologne. I know he partnered with, where's it at? Rayhan. I know that I saw that he did Rayhan. What is it? Tiger? I think that's what he did. Cal Cologne did Rayhan Tiger. I'm literally, that's in my cart right now. That one and Rayhan Crimson. Those are both in my cart right now, because a lot of people like Curly Fragrance and Cal Cologne and Aromatics and them have like over and over again said that they're good fragrances. So I love this one. This one hasn't disappointed me whatsoever. And as a longtime La Mel Elixir fan, if this one's great, I'm gonna have to check it out. He collabed with French Avenue. Well, then that's great, because so far, next to Hadlage, French Avenue has definitely got to be like my favorite when it comes to dupe houses. I love Lattafa, by the way. Don't get me wrong. Lattafas are great. But lately, I've been checking out French Avenue fragrances. They got that new Vulcan Fou. I think that's how you pronounce it. And that's supposed to be like the God of Fire dupe. That one's really hard to get your hands on. I'm trying to get myself a bottle, but it's really hard to get a hands on that new Vulcan by French Avenue, because they seem to keep being out of stock. And I'm wanting to pay a good price for it and get the real thing, but not pay too much. It's really calming after using it. I've decided to explore the house. Oh, you checking out the 40 knots that you got? That is fantastic. I'm really glad you're loving it. That's why I got derailed for a second reading comments and stuff, but I just want to let you guys know real fast to like finish this story. These two were the very first ever Naxos that I got. These also were the first ever like niche perfumery that I ever ordered. Prior to this, I only was ever using like Versace, Armani, Dolce & Gabbana. At the time, I had only just gotten really started collecting myself, and I gotten Versace's Hawas, but I don't really think of Hawas as like a niche fragrance, because it's extremely mass appealing. When we use the word niche, we're talking about something that's different and maybe a little bit tough for some people to enjoy. So I just on a whim saw that people were talking crazy about Naxos and talking crazy about 40 knots. I was like, okay, let's do it. And I got those, and I also ordered the Alexandria too. Honest to God, dude, when I first got all of these in, I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't like any of them. When I personally, my nose wasn't used to it. When I very first ever smelled both of these guys, me and my wife were just not used to this type of perfumery. I only liked, like, again, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, Versace Eros. I thought these were awful, because I was like, oh, that's old man, like rich fragrances or whatever. But then I couldn't stop smelling them, and that's when I fell in love. So like I said, Amouage Reflection and Zerjoff Naxos. Sorry, these are my top two favorites. Second place favorite, 100% 40 Knots by Zerjoff. Let me read these comments real fast. Sorry for getting my stupid face all in it. Thank you guys again, commenting and liking. This means a lot to me, because I'm continuing to try to grow this channel. And like I said, my birthday in 2 weeks, so just continuously throwing that out there to like guilt you guys into sharing my videos and stuff. Just kidding. But like Arabian Oud or Ibrahim Al-Karashi, again, if I ever mispronounce anything, please forgive me. I'm just a doofy white dude from the country down in the American South. And then my buddy here keeps talking about Alexandria fragrances. I've heard that they're fantastic. They make a lot of good clones and dupes. So I'm going to be trying those out soon. But again, just throwing these out there. Favorite, in case anybody's watching or goes back and watches, favorite Zerjoff fragrances, 100% Naxos, 40 knots. And then if you're looking to really challenge yourself, I just want to throw this out there. I've thought about doing a redo video of this because of how much crap I talked about Alexandria 2 when I originally got it. I've thought about going back, because again, that video that I posted reviewing Alexandria 2 has like 11,000 or 12,000 views on it. And these people are seeing me talk about how much at the time it was like, it's made well, but I hate it. And so I was like, it's not for me.
And now it's become one of my favorite fragrances in history. So I just want to say that again to tell you guys that not everything you get exposed to over time you're going to like, but don't always judge a fragrance right away. Please try things out and try things out and try things out, because you never know. You might end up liking something that at one point in time you thought was awful. And that's what happened with me with Alexandria too. This is an extremely niche fragrance because this has like a rose quality to it, but it also has agarwood or oud underneath it. And this is supposed to have like cinnamon and vanilla and stuff like that in here. But honest to God, because it has like that Egyptian damask type of rose situation going on, this smells like, I know this is going to sound awful. This smells like musky, like pyramid, like you're in Egypt and you're walking through a pyramid and it hasn't been entered in a very long time. That's kind of what this feels like. So again, it sounds awful, and your first exposure to this might not be that great, but I actually do love this. If you give it a little spray in the air, I don't know if you guys can see that with the light. I don't have my professional light just yet for my channel. I got one coming in, but I'm using a bright flashlight right now. They're highlighting all my awful wrinkles. But this one right here, Alexandria 2 by Zerjoff, is like incredible. So if you've like got the money and you're thinking about getting yourself like a truly niche fragrance, at your own risk, buyer beware. But I think it's fantastic. With that being said, before I consider wrapping this bad boy up, how can you recommend me a perfume? Hello, Kate. Kate Care or Hair. I don't know how to pronounce your name properly, and I'm sorry. But hello, Kate. Can I recommend for you a perfume? Well, I don't know exactly what your style of perfume is, but I'll do my best. Just real fast, I'm going to show you a couple of different kinds from my wife's collection, Kate. And I want a manly one that smells like, okay. Well, I was about to show you some things, but I take it all back, Kate. You want something that's more warm with like vanilla and wood? You've come to the right place. So on a more like marshmallow, like burnt, smoky marshmallow type of fragrance, Kate, this one right here, 100%. My wife is crazy about this. Black Opium, get the sparkly little bottle like this. Black Opium by YSL Yves Saint Laurent, Kate. This is fantastic. Smoky, kind of vanilla marshmallow. They say it's like a toasted marshmallow type of fragrance. This is very earthy, marshmallow, vanillic. It's not necessarily manly, but it's a little more rich and beautiful. My wife wears this every day. She also layers this with Amouage Reflection, and it's really fantastic. But also something a little more coffee vanilla, a little more rich, Kate, if you're looking for something like that. This is Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana. It's a newer fragrance that came out like a couple months ago. It's very good. These are more like not that bad of a price range. And then if you're looking for something that's also still a little bit more reasonable for the price range, I would say for you, Kate, try this out. Try out Vanilla Dunes by Hablad, just like 35 bucks. Not so bad, very warm, very delicious, Kate. So again, more masculine, but still could be unisex. So that's a couple suggestions. Rayhan Elixir, or if you want to spend the money, get yourself Jean Paul Gaultier's La Mel Elixir. These are some pretty good choices for you to go with if that's what you want. Can I review Jean Paul Gaultier? That depends, Cologne Boy. Which Jean Paul Gaultier are you talking about? On my channel, I've already reviewed La Mel Elixir, La Mel Le Parfum. I already did the original La Mel Eau de Toilette, and then Le Beau Le Parfum. So those are the ones I have. I've also got Elixir Absolute, which I just did a review for. So if you want to check those out, go check them out. If you want me to talk about them right now, I can do that for you. Let me see what Michael Hanna said. They also have sales in addition to low prices on niche perfumes. You own 40 knots and you love it. I'm like you don't like smoke, drinking. Hey, that's awesome, Michael. I think that's fantastic. You own 700 plus dude, that is wild. 700 plus fragrances. I hope to be like you one day. I don't know, Michael Hanna, if you do fragrance reviews, but dude, if you don't, you should start doing that. If you got 700 fragrances, dude, start doing it. But for my buddy here who's asking me for Cologne Boy, you're talking about me reviewing La Mel Le Parfum. I did do a full video of it already, but I'll do it for you right now and talk about it. I don't perfectly remember, so I'm not even going to pretend because I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't perfectly remember exactly what all the notes are for this, but I do know. Let me spray it. Oh, this is amazing. It's definitely different than La Mel Elixir. A lot of people like to compare them, as well as overall trying to compare like any of these. They did exactly what a perfume house should do. If you and you're welcome, Cologne Boy. I definitely appreciate you wanting me to talk about these and tell you my thoughts. So a lot of people want to compare these bad boys. I'm gonna take this off because the noise is insane. I don't like I said in the earlier on when I was talking about Nitro Red, I don't like dangly pieces hanging off of fragrances because it can be really irritating. But a lot of people will try to do like a straight up comparison between Lamel Le Parfum, Ultramel. I don't have Ultramel, but I have smelled it, and it's pretty great, although I heard it's being discontinued. So if you want to get Ultramel, you're going to have to find the right place to get yourself a bottle like a discounter. But with that being said, Lamel Le Parfum is gorgeous. It is just this beautiful lavender, I believe benzoin. I believe it has some tonka in it, but I know this one for sure does the elixir. I know more about the elixir because this one's one of my favorite than Le Parfum, but this is a little bit more mysterious. This one will make you think of like rich browns and tans and beige. My wife is a very color person. She thinks about when she smells fragrances, colors, and like what they make her feel. That's why she doesn't really like looking at bottles a lot before she like smells something, because if I can help her smell something before she sees what the bottle looks like, sometimes colors of bottles will make you think what you think. But she likes to think of the color she feels when she smells something. This one is like that rich midnight mysterious blacks and purples and things like that. That's the kind of vibe that you get when you smell the male parfum. Whereas this one gives you the ambery gold brown, similar to the bottle. Is the elixir sweet? Yes. La Male Elixir is ridiculously sweet honey tobacco. That's kind of what you get from this. This is more rich lavender sweetness with like a mild bit of sweetness, mostly kind of like a beautiful, I don't even know how to really explain it. It's a mysterious, almost powdery type of feel that you get with this, whereas this one's a much more sweet, beautiful vanilla with the honey and the tonka. Just subscribe to my channel. Dude, thank you so much, Michael, for subscribing. Please, I hope you enjoy my videos. If you guys ever check my stuff out and you don't really care for them, you're free to like not watch them and unsubscribe. That's okay. But I appreciate everybody who checks out what I'm doing. My channel kind of blew up quickly. I had a handful of videos circulate according to my analytics. They circulated a lot in like India and Algeria and stuff like that. So my subscriber count kind of inflated a lot. And I'm grateful for that because like I said, I literally right now have my silver plaque on the way, my play button. So I'm super proud that I'm going to have that. But I don't get the views that I would really like to have to make this more long-term and sustainable. So anybody who actually subscribes and is like willing to go check out my stuff and like leave comments and everything, that means the world to me. Because I'd like to do this. I've been making videos as a whole for like the past 15 years. With like my dad's video camera and my own stuff. I've been doing multiple channels. So to have one actually develop makes me very excited. But anyway, I'm going to try to read some more. Kate, to you, you are absolutely very welcome. And if you're looking for something that has those kind of notes, especially for your husband, then I can tell you this: 100% getting liquid broom or getting one of the lamels, or definitely if you want to go for the cheaper price points, you can just keep using all you want. Vanilla Dunes by Hadlaj. This one right here, you can see it in case you need to look it up. Just look up Vanilla Dunes. If you get this, it's like $35, depending on where you get it. Or again, I'll show you real fast. Liquid Broom. But also, I don't want to be remiss and not bring this up, Kate. Thank you again to my good buddy here, Cologne Boy, for also subscribing. I really appreciate that. It means the world to me. But I'm going to bring these bad boys up real fast because also trying to stick in that cheaper range to help you guys save your money. To Kate, for you or for you and your husband, these right here, Latafa Hamra. It's pronounced Hamra, I believe, but it's spelled with a K, Khamrah. And then this one I actually have just fallen in love with even more. This is Latafa Hamra Kawa. I think that's how you pronounce it, Qahwa. These are delicious. I'm sorry that I even forgot to bring these up. But these are some of the most awesome bottles. They're glass. The lids are really cool. But also the fragrance profile. That sugar cookie, ambery vanilla. These are so good. It's crazy. This one's a little bit more sugar cookie, the Kawa. And then the original Hamra is maybe more focused on the cinnamon point. This one's more like straight up delicious. This one's a little bit more of a snickerdoodle type of deal. How much is it? If you're talking about either one of these two, to Cologne Boy, both of these were like 35, I think, 35 or 40, depending on where you get them. I know that I think this one I paid, yeah, okay. So these are definitely around that $30 to $35 range. So I'm in the United States, so I don't know how much it'll be where you're at, like in euros, pounds, however much you pay. But here in the United States, these were both around that $30 to $35 range. So from Lattafa, and especially the performance on these are insane. I love them. So if you're looking for that vanilla or sugar cookie, but not cheap, or a snickerdoodle cinnamon cake cookie type of feel, but not cheap, like scent wise, they're cheap price wise, but they're insane. These are some of my favorites right now. I've been wearing the crap out of these. So 100% recommend getting your hands on Lattafa. But I was originally telling people to get the original Hamra, but this one right now, the Kawa. If you can get your hands on the Kawa, look for this maybe on Fragrance Net or I believe on Amazon. Get your hands on this bad boy right here. It's supposed to have more coffee notes, something along those lines. Do you have any Valentino? Hey Reyes, I hope that's how you pronounce your name. And again, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. I personally recently did a video reviewing and comparing Coral Fantasy to Green Stravaganza to the only one that I have. My good friend from work, Sam, he has Coral Fantasy and Green Stravaganza and also the gold one. My wife, for anybody who's asking about Valentino, my wife, I'll actually grab this real quick. Sorry, you guys. My wife's very first fragrance that she ever got was the Valentino Green Stravaganza for women, but I'm assuming, Ray, as you're probably asking for ones for men, Coral Fantasy is an insanely good purchase for the price, what you get out of it, and for an eau de toilette. Coral Fantasy has like stupid dummy good performance. The only Valentino that I personally own and wear on a regular basis, again, my wife has the female's Green Stravaganza. It's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance, but the only one I've got is I believe this is called the Uomo Intense. It's Uomo Eau de Parfum Intense, but it's a little tricky because I believe that the one with the pink lettering, which is also like a Uomo, they have an Eau de Parfum version now, is about the same name, I think, but this is just all black going across. And this is Valentino's Uomo Intense. This one I don't wear a whole lot, although my wife likes this. I'm not the biggest into this one, but this smells to me, if you guys have ever seen the little bag or package of powdered sugar donuts. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. In America, the United States, we have a little company called Sweet 16, or also Hostess makes this little package of powdered sugar donuts. Or if you get one from a bakery, that's what this reminds me of. This Uomo Intense by Valentino smells an awful lot like powdered sugar, something on like a baked pastry or something like that. But it's not supposed to be the notes. It's supposed to kind of be like a sweet leather type of feel. But to me, I think it's fantastic. This version is like an eau de toilette. That leather comes through a little bit strong, but this is supposed to be like a eau de toilette, and it's very okay. But I will tell you this: if you're looking for something that's going to last an extremely long time throughout the day, on clothes they do well. On skin, Valentinos are not the best performers in the universe. Keeping in mind, Reyes, that most Valentinos are eau de toilettes. Very few of them are eau de parfums. This is like one of the only 2 or 3 that are at least the men's scents. But you asked about Coral Fantasy, although I went on a tangent about everything else. Coral Fantasy is amazing. For an eau de toilette, like I said, it is a very good performer for what it's worth. Not that expensive. I'm pretty sure as well on discounters you can get it for like $80 or $90. So if you're looking to spend around that range, I guarantee you won't be disappointed. With that being said, I'd like to take a moment to talk about one other fragrance that I haven't really spoke about in a very long time, and that would be this little baby right here. This is the Eau de Parfum. This is YSL's Y. I don't talk about this one a lot, and I actually stopped caring about this one for quite some time. By the way, letting you guys know, I know my hair looks all greasy. I didn't take a shower this morning, and I have skin problems. So my hair gets a little bit on the greasy side, and I kind of look like your typical, like, TikToker fragrance dude. I don't know what it is. No offense to them dudes, but those TikToker fragrance guys, their hairs always look real wet. There's like a couple of them. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. If somehow you guys that I'm talking about ever see my videos and we collab or something, then please forgive me. But why do you always look like you just got out of the pool? I don't understand that. Maybe it's like I just don't do skincare or something. I don't know. But there's like a lot of fragrance YouTubers and TikTokers that I've seen or come across who are like, their hair's just dripping like they just got out of the shower all the time. But again, it's probably like an oil thing, and I just don't know anything about that stuff, and maybe I just look stupid right now. But anyway, I've been seeing some of those dudes as well talk about, again, like bringing back up the Eau de Parfum by YSL's Y. I have not. I only reviewed this once, but this used to be what my wife called the snuggle smell, and it was because something about this to her was so calming and beautiful that she like wanted me to wear it just when we were gonna snuggle. Like, let's say I put a fragrance on, and throughout the day it's wore off, and it's not that strong on me anymore. And now she's like, okay, we're about to lay down. Maybe we've taken a shower. We're about to go to sleep. She's like, hey, put something on that we can snuggle to. So for some reason or another, YSL's Y Eau de Parfum, just it's like a green apple type of some type of green apple. I think there might be grapefruit. I'm not sure, but I do know that the YSL Eau de Parfum has some type of green apple vibe to it. And that's kind of what you get. It's like soapy, classic green apple. By the way, also, if anybody is watching this, I apologize that I talk so fast. Not only did I have an energy drink this morning, I've been told I also talk a little too quick sometimes, and I'm trying to slow that down. But I always think and talk this way, and my mind also tells me that if I talk too slow, it's gonna like bore the crap out of you guys, and you guys are just gonna be like, I'm not watching anymore. So, in my reviews and right now, I apologize if I get to going too quick. But anyway, like just one suggestion: if you don't have any unique luxury fragrances, give Coute. Uh, okay, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce that right at all. Never seen that one before, but I will look that up after we get off of this stream, and I'll check those out like you guys are suggesting. Anytime, Michael. Code. By the way, code 2090. If you got like, if you don't mind telling me like what your actual name is, so I can refer to you, that'd be cool. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine too. But Reyes, Michael, all you guys who are watching, if you guys got suggestions again like that you haven't seen on my shelf here, my Zerjoffs, Amouage, all that stuff, Octaniz, I think that might be how you say it. I hope so. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. But if you guys have anything you'd like to see me review that I haven't brought up yet, please feel free to tell me. But yeah, like I said, this is supposed to be Czech Rasasi. Oh, Rasasi Darage. Okay, so just gonna go ahead and throw this out there. I bought that fragrance and I tested it, and I didn't even film. I unfortunately didn't film me doing that Rasasi. I think it's Darage or Darage. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that correctly. I checked that out, and I want you guys to know that it wasn't for me. Like, I could see that it was made pretty well for what it's supposed to be. Did not like it. Did not like it at all. I ended up giving it away before I even reviewed it. I wish I didn't, but I unfortunately gave it away before I even took the time to review it. But I'm going to put this away real quick because you bringing up Rasasi and not Hawas just made me remember something that I got really excited about recently, and that would be, let me see if this is the correct one. No, hold on real quick, you guys. So recently, that's not it either. Whoops, my bad. Recently, I got in. Here it is. So, if you've ever seen Zerjoff's, there's I think I can't remember what this line's called to be honest with you, but they got these very fancy. I think it's their alchemy line or something like that. But if you guys look up these really amazing Zerjoff bottles, this one right here, Aqua Regia by Zerjoff, is insane. Not that horrible of a price. All of these, unlike eau de parfums like Naxos and stuff, but like Alexandria too, if you guys check out any of the Alchemy line by Zerjoff, oh my God, they are actual extrait de parfums. They are explosive. They are long lasting. If you go on the Fragrance Net, again, I'm not sponsored, but if you go on the Fragrance Net, by the way, you can get these for like crazy good prices. This is 100 mil, and I think that I paid maybe 120 for this. I think maybe 120, 140. Dude, there is a Rasasi fragrance called Al Shagaf. Nafayes Al Shagaf. I think that's how you pronounce it. I reviewed Nafayes Al Shagaf by Rasasi early this past year. And then when these came in, again, I ordered like almost the entire, it's down on my bottom shelf. I'll show you guys in a minute. I purchased almost the entire Alchemy line by Zerjoff. And I swear to you, I was blown away because this is a situation where I smelled a clone-like fragrance. Although Nafayes Al Shagaf isn't like an actual direct clone of Aqua Regia by Zerjoff. But when I smelled this, I was destructively blown away because it's identical. Like very rarely do you smell something that smells exactly identical to another fragrance. But if you guys ever get the chance to smell Aqua Regia, by Zerjoff, and then you can go back and smell Nafayes al Shagaf. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry, like I said, I reviewed it a while back. If you guys can smell that, you are literally smelling. So if anybody ever wanted to know what Aqua Regia by Zerjoff smells like, and it even has the same exact performance. So like when I got my hands on this bottle, I was like blasted away surprised because most of this line, most of the alchemy line, like Empyrean here, are true to their name. They're supposed to be like mystical alchemy and all that stuff. Dude, I swear, they all have like some type of like very jasmine, very oody type of blend to them. Hayat, which I also have. Haven't reviewed that one yet, but oh my god, if you're looking for like a crazy oud fragrance, it's got a lot of power to it. Hayat by Zerjoff, that's a part of the alchemy line, is insane. But this one right here, it just blew my mind because, like I said, I smelled that Rasasi Nafayes Al Shagaf fragrance. And then when I got my hands on this one, it was just like a one-to-one. Very rarely does it happen, and it's not even supposed to be a clone that I know of. But that's just crazy. So if you're looking for that, I think it's like $25 you can get that fragrance. So in case of spending like the original price to get this, I gave my Darija away. Yeah, dude, I was not a huge fan of it. It just was not for me overall. And real quick, I will talk about these guys because I know that these are super popular. So I haven't brought these up. I haven't even done reviews for these yet, but I am going to work on it. People say it smells like another fragrance by Shiraz. It very well might. Because that's the crazy thing. I found out the other day by looking it up. You guys see here, I have like over 115 fragrances. You see other YouTubers and TikTokers in the fragrance world who have like hundreds of fragrances. Did you know that in the registered world of legal perfumery, there's over 60,000 registered fragrances? So there's no way on this earth that we'll ever check out all of them. How they can even be that unique, I don't know. But real quick, I just want to throw this out there because summertime's coming up, and somebody asked me earlier about like good summer fragrances. Oh, that is Al Shagaf, my bad. No problem, Santi or Santi. I want to pronounce you guys' names respectfully, by the way. Real quick to everybody jumping in here. Again, I'm Andrew Douglas Lane. This is my channel, the Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel. So right now I'm just doing a little review because like I said, I'm celebrating my channel. 100K subscribers. I'm celebrating coming up shortly. I have my birthday, and also again this week my play button's coming in. But right here, I've got Acento, the original Acento by Zerjoff. I got Herba Pura and Herba Gold. So I'm going to start off talking about these bad boys. Did not know what to expect. I haven't smelled God of Fire yet, but I'm going to check out the Vulcan fragrance by French Avenue. Thank you, by the way, for the congratulations. But I do know that if you're looking for like a really good mango type of fragrance, this is really, really well done. Like a lot of Zerjoffs, very long lasting. Obviously, again, like Jeremy Fragrance, strong, long lasting. This one is definitely an extremely long lasting fragrance, just like most Zerjoffs. But like this is crazy. It's not exactly my style because I'm not much of a mango person or like a star fruit type of person. But if you're into that kind of stuff, and if you like that more fruity mango type of deal, Herba Pura is very beautiful. Kind of feminine. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be, I think this is supposed to be a unisex fragrance. But this is extremely wonderful. Also, again, if you get this on discounters, I think it's like $140 for a 100 mil. Can't beat that. I don't know about full price. Full price is like 250, 300 range, I'm sure. But dude, Herba Pura is really good. Not my style. Very good mango type of fragrance. But Herba Gold, on the other hand, this is much more seductive. If you was thinking that this is possibly like a mango peach tropical sherbet, this has almost like a creamy note. I don't know if I'd say like milky or vanilla. Oh, hey, Brian. Very nice to meet you, Brian. Thank you so much, like I said, for watching, for liking, and checking out my stuff. Please, you guys, feel free to check out my other actual reviews, my videos. Leave me comments and your thoughts and stuff. I'd love to know how you feel and what more you'd like to see me do. But nice to meet you, Brian, Michael, Santi, everybody in my chat. You're all welcome anytime. Also, again, if any of you guys use TikTok, go check out the same name, Douglas Moon Fragrance. But yeah, Herba Pura, dude. Herba Gold. This is amazing. I love Herba Gold. It's like I said, it has a little bit more of a, this has a little bit more of a creamy peach type of feel compared to the original, which is much more that mango vibe. So if you're into like good summer fragrances, and I'm sorry that I even forgot to bring these up earlier, but There's so many. There's so many over here. It's hard sometimes to even remember like what I've got. Because my day to day, I don't wear that many different fragrances on a regular basis. Right now, I'm mostly cycling through between the Hamra, and also since I have it now, instead of the Le Beau Le Parfum that I don't want to just run through because I love it. Yeah, gold. Oh, Michael, you like Herba Gold as well? It's fantastic. Right now, though, for most of the summer, I'm probably going to be rocking this. Although I think I will be doing the Herba Gold as well, but probably very, very possibly most of this summer, I think I'm going to probably be rocking through definitely the Hot Lodge because it's just so good. So I cannot stress enough if you guys are interested and looking for a really good summer fragrance, if you want to have that Le Beau DNA, please get this. I cannot tell you enough. As a matter of fact, I'm going to reapply it right now. If any of you chuckleheads out there are curious how I put on my fragrances, I'm not going to do the Jeremy fragrance thing and just blast myself all over. But I do more sprays than I probably should. Like, because I have a fragrance YouTube, and I think a lot of fragrance YouTubers probably do this too. I'm kind of self-conscious. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, by the way, Brian. Thank you so much. I probably do more than I should, but like I get subconscious when I go in public in case somebody actually recognizes my channel or recognizes that it's me. Uh, I worry that they might come across me after I'm sweaty from the gym or something. And I know you're thinking you go to the gym sometimes after I'm enjoying some delicious meals, but I worry that people will cross me and then I'm stinky. So I have a habit of like maybe putting on a little bit more fragrance than I probably should. But just to show you guys what I do, because I do want to put this back on before I end the stream. So Hot Lodge Island, I do a little on the neck, one on each pulse point. And then, oh my God, I filled this room up so much. I need to let air out a little bit. One on the back of the neck. My wife does it on her hair because it actually really sticks and does well. She did Baccarat Rouge yesterday, the extract de parfum, but she put some on her hair, and I swear it was like almost killing me, choking me, like because we were walking around in public. I like literally covered myself in the new Hawas red, and I couldn't hardly smell anything because she had it on. But don't get me wrong, I like Baccarat. But anyway, so one on the pulse points, or one on each pulse point, so two. One on the back of the neck. I also like to put a little on the shirt, so one, maybe two, depending on which one it is. And after that, you can be done. But if you're anything like me and you kind of want to like be able to smell yourself throughout the day, just like checking on your arm, especially if you're testing skin, I also like to do like one on the wrist. But I've already done that, so there's no need for me. I'll do it one more time. So I've already done that. There's no need for me to really do it again. But if you guys are putting on fragrance and stuff and you want to know like a good way to do it without wasting anything, dink, dink, two on the little pulse points, one on the back of the neck. What it's called. What's it called? You're talking about this? This is, again, Hot Lodge. This is the company's Hot Lodge. This is Island. So, again, you guys are looking for some amazing, cheaper fragrances. You don't want to spend too much money. Get the more expensive stuff. 100%, dude. Vanilla Dunes, Island Vanilla Dunes by Hot Lodge. And then Island in and of itself. These are just crazy good fragrances. Like I've been pleasantly surprised lately getting cheaper fragrances and seeing how like actually amazing they really are. So I think going forward, I'm kind of going to run out the clock because I'm almost to 2 hours. So I'm kind of going to spend this last 8 minutes answering you guys' questions. If there's anything you want to know before I end this stream, please ask, tell me. I'm kind of going to take you on one more quick little tour of my situation over here so you guys can see a little bit more of what I got going on. But just to finish it off, if you guys are looking for good, cheap fragrances, if you guys are trying to find something that you don't have to spend too much money, I'm going to end this off with an expensive one. If you guys are looking for something that you've been saving up, you want to get something really, really nice, Grand Soir by Maison Francis. Sorry, it says I disconnected for a second. Oud Silk Mood by Maison Francis Kirkjohn. Absolute indestructible banger, like floral, mildly oudy, rose, beautiful fragrance, last forever on skin. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit more cheaper, get you one of these bad boys. Let me take you through just real fast. Get yourself, sorry you guys. All right. Get yourself Liquid Broom. This is amazing, as well as the new Coco Morado. If you're trying to get yourself some good cheap fragrances, these are like $30 to $40, depending on where you get them. I paid like $35 for each of these. These are fantastic, super incredible performers because I think That's probably another thing that's very important to us, right? If you're going to spend good money on fragrances, you want them to perform. You want them to last long. Have you tried 1 million parfum? I have not. I only have 1 million elixir. I wear it very infrequently, but I've got 3 bottles because a handful of my friends have it and don't like it. So they've just been continuing to give them to me. But I haven't really smelled 1 million parfum more than once. I only ever smelled it at Sephora. At the time, it wasn't really for me. Honestly, the only one I really cared about too much was the elixir. But yeah, so just showing you guys one more time some stuff before I go. But please, feel free, all you want, to ask me questions and see what you guys think. But real fast, how is the profile and performance Coco Morado? I'm glad that you asked. I'm really going to hate doing this to myself for filling up the room with one more fragrance before I cut this off, but I am going to do it. I wish I could remember what I want to compare this to. And I know that somebody out there might see this one day and just tell me that like I deserve for my channel to be deleted for saying this. But if I had to be completely honest with you, what I think Coco Morado kind of reminds me of, it's almost like a variation, like a chocolate infused variation of Intense Red Tobacco by Mancera. There is a chocolatey tobacco smoky incensey note that's going on at Coco Morado that just kind of carries like a very mild similarity. Because first and foremost, let me tell you guys this. This is just me sidetracking again. I want you guys to know, if you was curious about saving your money and having something incredible, I was shocked when I realized this because I got this first, Carlisle by Parfums de Marly. Then I got Intense Red Tobacco by Mancera. And I was wearing them separate days, multiple days apart. Welcome back, Dr. Beast. Thank you for being back. I'm almost about to end my stream here in a couple of minutes. We're just throwing this out there for you guys. Have a little bit more information before I go. So I got this, Carlisle, wore it a handful of times. Beautiful, appley type of tobacco, smoky scent, right? Wore it, decent enough projection, decent enough performance. It's a newer formulation when I got this. Then when I got Intense Red Tobacco, it was very rich, very smoky. My wife absolutely loved this. I looked it up and turns out this also is supposed to have like those undertones with a little bit of fruity appleness going on. But here's the craziest thing. After I wore this, then I wore this and I was like, why is this reminding me of something? Like 2 weeks later, I went back and put this on one arm, Carlisle by Parfums de Marly. Then I put Intense Red Tobacco on the other arm. Lo and behold, for a drastically different price range, right? $400, Carlisle versus full price like 115 or $80 if you get this off of a discounter. Red Tobacco Intense is like a just its own version with a little bit slightly different take of Carlisle. Again, please, if anybody out there is like, you're a psychopath, how dare you say something like that? Whoops. Everybody's got their own opinions. But being dead serious with you guys, if you want something very similar to this, smoky, rich, sexy, kind of a little bit fruity undertones going on, but you don't want to spend this much money, I'm not joking with you when I say that even though I love Parfums de Marly and I love Carlisle and all that stuff, I'm also a cheapo who doesn't like to burn through his expensive fragrances. Red Tobacco Intense, incredible. But let's take it to the next step, shall we? We've already just talked about how if you want to substitute for Carlisle by Parfums de Marly, go for Intense Red Tobacco because it's in that same family. But now, getting Coco Morado by French Avenue, this is a little bit more sharp on the smoke. Like recently, if you've ever been around somebody who smokes a pipe, are they redundant? Thank you, Santi, for asking. I would say yes. If you haven't purchased Carlisle yet, but you want something in that similar vein with like a mild back note of fruitiness and sweetness coming off with a tobacco, get yourself Intense Red Tobacco. Perfect. But if you're asking about between these two, I would say no because they're different enough. But if you're looking at like a smoked, delicious tobacco type of fragrance, definitely, I don't know what the notes altogether are for Coco Morado, but to be completely honest with you, it is very much reminding me of a sweeter cocoa version of Intense Red Tobacco. With that being said, these are monsters. So this one, more pricey than this, but this is an absolute monster. This one lasts and lasts and lasts. Not trying to be like a cheap hyper, But compared to Carlisle by Parfums de Marly, the performance of this is like stupid good. And the performance of this so far has been crazy good. I was very shocked at this because I know that this is a subjective type of fragrance. It's not for everybody. It really isn't. If you're the type of person who likes sweet, or even worse, if you're the type of person who's more into vibrant citrus fragrances, you're going to despise this unless you're a versatile type of person. I like stuff from all over the spectrum, but Coco Morado by French Avenue or Intense Red Tobacco, if you like sugary, sweet, type of bright, citrusy fragrances, you're not going to like either one of these. But if you do like incensey stuff, like I do, and if you come across things like Amawage's Royal Tobacco, if you like that kind of licorice type of smell, if you really, really like Interlude by Amawage, if this type of stuff like smoked incense fireplace type of scent is your thing, and I swear to you, these are incredible choices to save you a lot of money. And even though they're not exactly like the other ones, they're great. So thank you guys for asking. Thanks for being curious, Santi, about Coco Morado. It is, hold on. Mm, it is so rich and beautiful. To be a cheap fragrance, I'm going to be completely honest. I know I say that a lot, by the way. I apologize for having like repeated catchphrases. There's just some stuff I can't help myself but kind of say over and over again. It's just how I am. This fragrance is ridiculously, insanely good and well blended. It doesn't smell unfinished. If you get the chance to smell even like liquid broom for $30, I'm shocked at how finished this kind of smells. Pronish Gorung, hopefully I said your name correctly. Hello. Thank you for being here. Welcome to my stream. I'm about to end it here in a couple of minutes, but please check out my reviews, my videos. If you see anything here you'd like to ask me about while I'm still here, please go ahead and do so. Interlude is known as the blue beast in the fragrance world. I can 100% tell you this fragrance right here, I'm not holding these up by the way because they're the same. They're not. Let me put Coco Morado down for a second. I can 100% tell you that Interlude is an absolute monster of a fragrance. Like, there is nothing ever that compares to smelling Interlude in any other fragrances. I'm sure that there's like dupes and all kind of stuff. I know that there is. You guys have already brought it up since I've been doing this stream, but when you smell the real Interlude, when you pop that cap off and you smell that pimento berry with the incense and the beautiful just brightness of the smokiness, and also when you put this on your skin, you've got to really like this. If anybody out there purchases any Amouage fragrance, I just want you to know ahead of time, even Reflections, which is a bright iris fragrance, if you get any of these, I have like $60 for a fragrance. What should I get? Finn, I will answer your question in just a second. But just to finish my thought, if you guys ever get the chance to smell this, you better really like it because I'm in love with Interlude. It's one of my favorite fragrances, but my God, it sticks to you forever. Now, on to my buddy, Finn here. Welcome to my stream. You just asked me, you said you got $60. What should you buy? I'm very, very glad that you just asked me that question, my friend. I don't know what what kind of profile you like. I don't know what type of fragrances you're into. But before I answer you, Pranish, I'm gonna tell my buddy Finn here. If you got $60 and you're looking for a good fragrance, I'm gonna say the same thing I've shown people a handful of times so far. For $30 to $40, Finn, you can get on any fragrance website basically and get Hamra, KHAMRAH by Lattafa. That's LATTAFA. I'm not sponsored. Again, I cannot stress this enough. Nobody sends me free stuff. I wish they would, but I buy all these. So when I tell you I love these, I really love them. So to Finn, you're asking for something under $60. Do get you Hamra, either the original, or get you Hamra Hawa, which is QAHWA. So this is amazing. Sugar cookie, sweet, beautiful fragrance. So if you're looking for something sweet, delicious, but my buddy, if you're not looking for something like that and you still don't want to spend under $60, then I've been talking about these like crazy. La Bola Parfum dupe right here, Island by Khadlaj. And then same thing, Vanilla Dunes. Just look up Island by KHADLAJ, or look up Vanilla Dunes and search anything by this company right here. Their stuff is incredible. For $30 to $40, you can't go wrong. Now to my buddy Pranish here, or Pranish, you asked me about Versace Eros Eau de Parfum. Super glad that you asked, because right here, excuse me, I've got Versace Eros Parfum. Now, I've had the Eau de Toilette, I've had Flame, and I've also had the Eau de Parfum. Next to Parfum, this is the best. Well, excuse me. Next to Parfum, which is this, Eau de Parfum is amazing. Dude, performance, ridiculous for the price, like super good. Scent profile, I don't really like the Eau de Parfum, the Eau de Toilette. I don't really like Versace Eros Eau de Toilette very much because it's a little bit too, ironically, old man barbershoppy, but not in a good way to me. But the Eau de Parfum by Versace Eros is insane. I had a bottle, but I gave it away because I actually stocked up on multiple bottles of the straight up Parfum. As you can see, I got the big boy. This is an crazy, crazy good fragrance. By the way, real quick, I'm reading comments, but Pranish, if you're thinking about getting Versace Eros Eau de Parfum, it's beautiful. Most people seem to get just the Eau de Toilette, but between Versace Eros Flame and Versace Eros Parfum or Eau de Parfum, you just can't go wrong. So if you're considering it, it's fantastic. And now let's see what else I got here. Yeah, to my buddy Eros is amazing. Thank you for your help. Thank you for subscribing, Finn. That means a lot to me. Like I said, I'm just trying to develop this bad boy. Hopefully, people continue to like watch and put more views on my videos and stuff. It means the world to me when you guys comment. Tell me your thoughts on my actual reviews. Tell me what you'd like to see me do full reviews of. So many of these I haven't even done reviews for yet. I've got 16 videos filmed right now in storage, ready to post of reviews. But these right here, most of these I haven't even got to yet. So if there's stuff you guys would like me to see me do, just let me know. And I'll add them to my collection over time when I can. And let's see, you should try Spice Bomb Extreme. Dr. Beast, very funny you should say that, my friend. Very funny you should say that. What do I got right here? My little buddy right here, Spice Bomb Extreme. I literally just the other day, if you want to go check it out, I did a review of it. Well, I did it like a couple months ago, but I just posted it. I kind of, like, I'm the type of nut job who likes to be way ahead. So when you see me in my videos, I might have filmed it 2 months ago. I can't help myself. I like to stay very far ahead of everything in life as much as I can. So I film like 5 videos at a time, post a couple over the course of a few weeks, film more. So like I said, I got 16 right now. It's just stored up that I haven't even posted yet. And I just the other day, if you guys want to go watch it, please leave comments, like, subscribe, whatever. I just the other day on my videos did a full review of Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb Extreme. This is, I'm really going to choke myself half to death. I got to open the door. I'm sorry if it starts to get echoey. This is definitely, you only need a couple of sprays. For the love of God. They made it look like a little grenade. Please, if you own this fragrance, be very careful with it. Because Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb Extreme will just completely destroy a room. It smells incredible. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. It's just extremely strong. So like I said, I did a full review on that the other day. Real quick, while I'm talking about certain fragrances, I'm kind of going to go ahead and start putting some of these guys away because like I said, I know I said I'm going to end the stream a handful of times, and I haven't really done that yet. And before I do end it, anybody who's watching, I'm going to take you guys on a walkthrough one more time of kind of sort of just everything that I got. I like these bottles, by the way. Didn't realize how similar they are. This is Latafa's Emir. I think I'm saying that right. Obviously, you guys have already seen Rayhan Elixir. But I got this in the other day. This is a very interesting one because I think this is supposed to be that Creed Aventus type of DNA. Aventus. This is that Creed Aventus type of DNA, at least so they say. But I gotta say, the performance for this is not what I was hoping it was going to be. I've seen certain folks who will remain unnamed say that this is an absolute beast. Well, I sprayed it and I even macerated it a little bit. And I will say, compared to a handful of other Latafa fragrances like Hamra that I'm crazy about, that are like monster performers, this one's not really hitting the spot too much. But I'm going to give it some more time, kind of let it do its thing. It reminds me less of straight up Aventus, and perhaps a little bit more of this, the Intense Cedric Bois by Mancera. This is like dead on that woodsy pineapple type of fragrance. I like to keep showing you guys these pineapple-y ones because with summertime being here, that's kind of what people go for. If not Herba Pura or Herba Gold or your Dolce & Gabbana light blues, a lot of times people are looking for that Aventus-y type of citrus type of profile. So these are all almost like the same. You got Eros Energy, you've got Cedric Bois Intense, Emir by Latafa. But I'm going to go ahead and show you one more time to everybody who like missed it at the beginning. This just came in, the Hawas Black, and I gotta say, dude, this takes the cake. Next to Eros Energy, which is more like a lemon drop candy, so it has woodiness to it, but it's more like a lemon drop candy type of vibe. This, if you're really looking for that type of Aventus DNA and you want it to be like super true to the vibe, this is going to do that for you. This is a monster, by the way. I don't know what they're doing over there at Hawas, at Rasasi, but when they make fragrances, my God, they make them explosive. When Rasasi does what they do, if they do it well, like I said, Dirige by Wasasi, no offense, I hated it. But all of the Hawas lines so far, Fire, Ice, Original Hawas, and then Black here. And my goodness, I can't wait for Rasasi Elixir to get here this week. I can't wait to review for you guys. Definitely fantastic. By the way, if anybody out there who's been enjoying this stream so far wants me to do more live streams, talk about other things, answer you guys' questions, please comment either on my other videos or comment here and let me know, because again, this is one of my few ever live streams that I've even done. I've been having fun talking with you guys, talking about my fragrances and stuff. So if you guys have enjoyed this at all, please let me know. I'd love to talk some more with you guys later on. So, real fast before we go, I'm going to take you on a run through of my recent purchases and talk about kind of the whole dealio. So let me turn the camera around. All right, one more time before I end the stream, taking you guys through my collection, answering your questions if there's anything you'd like me to talk about. Sorry, let me try to hold the camera a little bit more still. Answering your questions if you got anything you want me to talk about. Just got in Nitro Red. I got in Hawas Fire, Hawas Black. I already had multiple bottles of the original. I got Hawas Ice. I've got Aether Extract by French Avenue. My first live stream attendance. Thank you so much, Brian, for even taking the time to watch. You are awesome, dude. I appreciate you. You're always welcome back to my live streams. I don't even hardly ever watch people do live streams, but I just heard that this is a good thing to do for your channel. And seeing as how I'm trying to get this thing together, I realize it's better just to ask you guys' opinions. So thank you so much. Again, I got my little extra bottles here. This is so funny also, by the way. So I love Naxos, Alexandria 2, and 40 knots so much. But the website, before I started using Amazon, that I was getting my Zerjoffs from, they started using UPS. And here in our neighborhood that we live in now, UPS can't seem to find our house. I'm not even joking you, and I'm sorry to be complaining. This sounds like rich people problems, but I'm not rich. But UPS misplaced and delivered to the wrong house over $2,000 worth of fragrances. They refused to refund them for me, the company that they came from, because UPS dropped them off and took photos of somewhere, but it wasn't our house. And I proved it, got a police report and everything, still didn't get the money back. I'm not going to say what website this came from. So, because of that debacle, I ended up ultimately deciding from now on, if I get anything that's going to ship through UPS, I got to send it to my friend's house. So these bottles here, I'm thankful to actually have these extras of these Zerjoffs, because now I'm started shipping that stuff to my buddy's house. But I just recently found out Amazon can find our home. So that's why I started getting these guys, the Nitro Red, Hawas, all that stuff. And then also getting in the Hadlages, which, by the way, if anybody else out there has a cologne collection or a fragrance collection, let me know if, like me, you're really weird about needing things to face a certain way. Even this is driving me crazy, having my Zerjoff bottle lids not facing properly. But I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go for now. But anyway, before I go, like I said, if any of you guys want to talk about any of these fragrances one more time, I say your channel is growing really well. Thank you so much, my good buddy. I really appreciate you saying that. It means the world to me that you have been watching all this time. Anybody who sees my friend down here, Mr. Branch, commenting on my videos and stuff, he's been with me since the very beginning. It means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much, buddy, for watching my stuff. Michael, I definitely know what you mean. Like, dude, I have to have everything lined up just right, or I feel like I'm going to go crazy. Like, if I know one of these Zerjoff lids are not facing the proper way or whatever, just like this guy right here, I could be laying in bed later and it just will keep crossing my mind like, hey, that's not right. I need to go in there and fix that. But anyway, I'm going to put this back where I think I had it. Right there. So this has been like a good chunk of my collection, you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Eric Baker, thank you so much for commenting. Like, dude, I feel the exact same way. I need everything to be kind of like, eh. Like, one of the things that drove me crazy, I got these sample bottles back here I've done reviews for, and I didn't want to just have them laying around just anywhere. So I just kind of stuck them places. Recently, and this is something I've been thinking about a lot, but I guess I'm sick in the head and I haven't fixed it yet. I did a review for Gisada Ambassador Intense, and then I've got the original Ambassador Man, and I put this right here, and I can't believe I didn't remember to fix this, but multiple times over, I kept crossing in here thinking, why do I have that sitting there? That's going to make me like explode on the inside. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This is my collection. This is most of what I got so far, although I have some things still on the way. If there's anything you'd like to see me review, see me talk about, please comment, let me know, check out any of my videos. By the way, initio side effect, forgot to bring this up, but this and Paragon are some of my absolute favorite fragrances. They are monsters. They are powerhouses. Please, if you get the chance, check them out. And one last one that I'm crazy about, Ombre Leather Parfum. So I'm Andrew Douglas Lane, Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel. This is my collection. I'm about to officially actually end this bad boy, but I appreciate all you guys so much for watching, for commenting on stuff. Thank you guys. Check out my actual reviews. I've got full length 5 to 15 minute reviews of like so many of these fragrances, the Zerjoffs, Amouage, so forth, whatever. So many I haven't even filmed yet. Hundreds of videos coming you guys' way. So comment, tell me what you want to see. And again, thank you, Brian, Michael, Eric, everybody who's watched. I will be seeing you guys in the near future. Follow me wherever you would like to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So Andrew Douglas Lane, Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel. Just got done kind of taking you guys through a tour of this. And what do you think about Fragrance X? Well, sorry, I'm going to answer your question real quick before I go. I've not used Fragrance X just yet. I've heard a lot of people say that it's pretty decent, but I've mostly only used Fragrance Net and Max Aroma and Amazon when I purchased like stuff off of those kind of discounters or websites or whatever. Haven't used Fragrance X, but I'm considering giving it a shot because I've seen people talk about it. So yeah, took you guys through all my stuff. Love you guys. I appreciate you, and I will see you guys next time.